What's going on, guys? So today I'm speaking with an old DL friend of mine named Chris. He's better known as InfiniteDragon to the DL community. And today's podcast, we'll be diving into Chris's personal Deadlocked story. Chris was one of the faces of the Defy Logic glitch clan that dominated the glitch scene in 2007 and 2008. He made a lot of glitch videos back in the day, as well as some gameplay videos. Chris and I first met each other sometime in the fall of 2007, I believe. So we go pretty far back. We were just talking earlier. It's been at least 15, 16 years probably since we've talked to each other in a voice chat. And since this is a podcast, this podcast is touching on Defy Logic's history, so we also have two other Defy Logic members present with us here, Agent Moose and Deathwildie, who are better known as Troy and Ethan, respectively. And they'll be getting in on the conversation when they can. So, boys, how's it going?
Going well.
Doing good, man. Great to like you mentioned, it's been so long, and honestly, like I haven't been playing. Like I stopped playing Deadlock like a lot sooner than you guys did. So a lot of my I'm gonna have to like go deep into the memory for this, but it's gonna be great.
Oh, absolutely. How's it going with you, Ethan?
Ethan, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh. We'll cut this. We'll let Ethan get his sound.
Oh, he's restarting his computer. He's having some technical difficulties apparently.
Okay, well we'll start it up. All right. So, Chris, the first question I had for you is, when did you get Deadlocked, and when did you start playing online?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually got like Deadlocked on the release day. Kind of a interesting story actually. I had stomach issues in the middle of class, so they had like, this is like grade 5. Like, when did Deadlock come out? 2005, 2006? I think 2005, right?
October of 2005.
Yeah. Like, so the school had to call my mom to come pick me up, and then like immediately after, I was like, "Hey, can we go to the store to buy Deadlocked?" So that was like literally on release day. And as far as I think I didn't go online the first day because I think I just like wanted to play the campaign. But in terms of like going online, this might stretch back a bit to UA because I had a friend that lived in my building, and he also went to school with me, and we kept like sharing games because we kind of grew up not like poor, but we were like lower middle income. So like we had to like share games, and he borrowed my UIA, and I had the original PS2 that didn't have the online adapter. But he had an online adapter somehow, and like he showed me that you could play UIA online, and I was like, "What the heck? I didn't even know this was possible." And then like Deadlock came out, and then I was like, oh, "Okay, I want to try this too." But yeah, it's pretty much like been playing since like day 1 or day 2ish.
Yeah, I know in our first podcast, Ethan had mentioned actually that you had played both UIA and early DL back in the day. Is there anything do you remember much about your UIA days?
Kind of. So okay, like, so going back on what I said about this friend, he like we kind of, he showed me the UIA online. Like, I don't know exactly how much before Deadlock came out, but like kind of pretty late, like after UIA came out. Like, I don't know, maybe like a month or two before the Deadlock release. So we didn't have that much time to like go do strictly UIA. Like, we came back to it eventually after, but so we started playing, and obviously we're like we just like discovered that you could play this online. So we're like pretty bad. But I noticed that I was like actually doing good at like the wrench only games. This might become a topic later on. I don't know if you guys remember anything about me having a bunch of wrench kills.
It was a question I had for you. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can get into that later. But yeah, like I was so shit at like using the regular weapons, but I was actually winning some of the wrench only games. And also, I guess this will kind of extend into later, but like people would be just hosting like random glitch games, and that's kind of how like I would join in, and then they would show me like all these random stuff. And then that's kind of just how I got into that. And then yeah, that's kind of the extent of, or at least the beginning of the UIA stuff. Like, there is some stuff later on that like when I came back to it, kind of mostly just going back to like see new glitches really, because at that point I was mostly interested in like playing Deadlocked, like for the actual like competitive aspect. Like I didn't want to go back to UI to play like the gun games. Mostly just to like experience the glitches later on. That's kind of why I ended up going back.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you were actually the original Wrench King. We have a Wrench King in here. So it looks
Yeah,
like
he
you were
was.
the OG Wrench King. Wrench King.
He was. If I remember correctly, Chris, you were like always like number 2 or something like that in Wrench Kills, right?
Actually, number 1.
Number 1? Was it number 1?
Wow.
Okay, I remember
Yeah.
there was one person that was always kind of like you and them were always kind of head to head on wrenching.
Well, okay, so this is kind of like a weird story. So I was number 1 like for the longest time, and I forgot what years. Like it was like maybe it was like 2006. This was definitely before I met you guys, but I accidentally deleted my account.
Oh,
So
Lovely.
I don't. So maybe like the reason why you don't think you remember me being in a different position is because like after I remade my account, maybe I just didn't end up reaching number 1 again. But no, I was number 1 by like a landslide, and that's strictly just because like that's the only thing that I played. Like
Got it. Okay. No, I remember you played that tons. You just always do 1v1s and such like that.
yeah.
This should be working now.
okay.
There we go.
Here-
Yep.
Yeah. What's up, Ethan?
Oh, no, I can't hear.
Nice.
Oh, now you can't hear us? Well, Ethan, just use the easier of the two. You got a new headset for a reason.
I got it.
All right.
Okay.
You can hear
No,
us.
I got it. Yeah, no, this is the easier of the two. It's just I had to mess around with settings.
Well, welcome to the chat officially, Ethan.
Oh, why? Why? Thank you. It's nice to be here, and hello, Chris.
Oh no.
What you been up to recently?
Yeah.
Ethan?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
What have you been up to?
Just a lot of not online stuff.
Honestly, yeah, he has a girlfriend, so he's just been like hanging out over there.
Well, I have a they them.
Yeah,
Oh.
them. Yeah.
Been hanging out with it a lot, and really
Yeah, that's
honestly, just
significant.
watching a lot of shows lately.
Mainly Animu.
No, we haven't
No,
watched
not
it in
anymore?
a while.
No.
We watch a lot of like the sitcoms. How I Met Your Mother is one of them, and then also Modern Family. All great
Nice.
shows.
Very nice. Well, we'll go ahead
Yeah.
and continue with the podcast for right now. Chris answered the first question and kind of got in some of his history when he started. So, Chris, what was your first DL game like, or do you remember your first DL game?
To be honest, not really. Like, it most likely would have been like a wrench game,
Yeah.
just because that's what I was like comfortable in. Mostly did like FFAs at the time, or because it was just easier like than having to make teams. Because I don't know what you guys did on like the new server, but like I don't know if you remember like back in the day, like getting people to like be on the correct teams was kind of annoying.
Oh, very. And
Still,
to this day,
still
a
can be.
little bit. Okay, let's see. And I've always wondered about this one, so this is your next question. So how did you come up with the username InfiniteDragon?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Okay, well, like obviously when I'm a little kid, like kind of have those like I don't know, those edgy things. Like I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say that because there's nothing wrong with liking dragons, guys. Okay, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
But you do have an X in the name. So.
Yeah, we had so many
Yeah,
wagons
that's just the
before.
YouTube one because I think the name was taken.
Okay.
But the furthest back I can remember using that was like the official Nintendo forums. I used to hang out there like as like a 6-7-year-old.
Nice.
I don't actually know how I came up. Like I think I found someone else that had like a similar name with dragon in it, and I was just trying to come up with like a different word to put in front of it.
Mhm.
And after like a bunch of just like I don't know, just like my 7-year-old dictionary brain, like or maybe I just saw it online. I saw the word infinite, and
Did you watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did. Yeah.
Could have got it from Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Interestingly, I don't know. That's an interesting theory, but I can't currently make the connection.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh actually popped up in my head too when I thought of your username a lot. I know with like Chidori, mine, when I was 13 years old at the time, I was really into Naruto at that moment, and Chidori was a really popular move off there, so I used it.
Mhm.
And I ended up keeping the name because all my stats were just fantastic compared to my other accounts, and so I just kept that as the default, and then I eventually just started using it in the glitching and whatnot. So that was the root of mine. And then I know Troy and Ethan, you guys have gone to your history of usernames.
Yep.
You want to just
So,
elaborate?
Yep, a quick one of mine. Actually, I explained this somewhere like in the past like few weeks or so. But basically, mine was originally from when I was playing Time Splitters. The first Time Splitters, I couldn't fit. There's a monkey character in there that wears a suit, so I was going to be Agent Monkey. Well, I couldn't fit Agent Monkey as a name, so I just chose Agent Moose. That's literally it.
Nice.
Mine's from when I was trying to create an AIM username, AOL Instant Messenger.
Mhm.
I was trying to create a name for that, and DWD was one of the first that came up. Yep. And I've just used it ever since.
Yep. I know that just the origin stories are really interesting sometimes, but
Very interesting. Yeah.
I'm just glad mine is like something like Cool Dude 67 or something like that.
Yep, true.
I was going to bring up some
Sunshine Bear 68.
some former Deadlocked player names, but
Death Kid 69.
Oh, I made that a noob name one. Yeah.
Very
I was
nice.
using Death Kid 69 for a while on Deadlocked because I was like, oh, it's a noob name. No one will kick me. They'll all think I'm a noob, and I just go and beat everyone. That was a good time.
I had several of those
Sounds great.
accounts too, just to get into the games and
Mm-hmm.
kind of go incognito mode.
Oh man, well there was a point. Honestly, one reason why there was a point where no matter any game I would join, it was mostly because of Troy. He would be hacking in games, and then so any game I joined, I would get kicked because they're like, "Oh, he's gonna hack." I'm like, "No, I'm not," and then it's just because of Troy.
Damn it, Troy.
Good old days.
Yes. So, Chris, what other past usernames did you have besides InfiniteDragon, if any?
Okay, so that was like by far my most used one. I did have like another one that I don't remember the exact spelling, but it was like glitch hacker or something like that. And I don't really know why I had multiple accounts or like had that account, but I just used it to like just go into glitch games. I think like because like Deadlock's like a pretty niche game, so this is like if someone's high up on the leaderboard, like everyone will know them.
Right.
And like I don't know, sometimes I guess just like I wanted to like be on a different account so people didn't know who I was.
Well, didn't
And I guess go ahead.
Weren't you the ones who get the original Mr. Fidgewidget account? And then like you lost the password or something?
No, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you? Okay, I thought that was you.
But I did have like a similar thing with getting kicked from games because like I said, I pretty much like only played revenge games. So like if I tried to join like a game that had like regular weapons, people would be like, "Oh, this guy sucks at that. We don't want him on our team." So I'll just get kicked.
Right. Well, so who were your very first friends on the game? Because you started, what was it, did you start in late 2005 or early 2006?
Well, pretty much like when it came out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So other than like that guy that I knew in real life, that I played with, actually, yeah, like, so there was definitely like a lot of people that like I met throughout, but I actually just remembered one of their names now. Like his name was like Nighthawk or something Nighthawk, like with some numbers at the end, and so that I guess that was like the first clan that we made. Like, I guess I met him through wrenching because that's probably the only way I would meet somebody. Not much like notable stuff happened there. We did like do a few glitches there and kind of just like met a few people here and there, but things didn't really get notable until I met a few other people. One guy, I did like connect with him on the PlayStation 3 days. His name was like JJ12345. Highly doubt anyone here knows who he is. Or do you know who he is?
I remember that username. Now I don't remember him past the PS2 time though.
Yeah, he was like one of my like good venturing friends because he was like for a while he was like rank number 2 in kills. I was 1, he was 2, and like basically like I had like a venturing friend group, and we like had like the top 10 on lockdown. Like there was another guy that was his real life friend. His name was Matt 12345, and like for a kind of a long period before like the clan Defy Logic days, like that's pretty much just I would just log in and just play wrenching games with like a bunch of people there.
Gotcha. And if I remember correctly from the podcast Ethan, Troy, and I did, you said you guys, you, Ethan, and Troy met. It was at early 2006. Is that correct?
That's hard to say. I don't like.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been, but
Like I guess you could like check the Defy Logic first video. I guess that's probably like the most accurate thing. But around there, I guess.
Yeah, if I
think the
remember
first
right,
video-
the date for the Defy Logic
maybe it was like 2006.
channel was like
2007.
early 2007 or mid 2007. It was around there.
Yeah. So we probably met around there then.
Okay, yeah, Ethan, does that sound right to you, or do you think it was 2006?
No, that sounds right to me. Probably around there, because I know, like, Troy and I didn't start playing it until
It was still in 2006. I just don't remember.
it was
exactly.
late, probably late 2006. Because I remember we did get the game the day it came out, but we didn't have an adapter or anything.
We also didn't start glitching for months after we actually started playing, though. Like it was.
Yeah,
We
we just played some, but yeah, actually didn't start
months
glitching
after.
until later.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I think then we were still glitching a lot of Halo and Halo 2.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of Halo stuff at that time still.
That's right. Do you guys remember when you all first met? Like how you guys, did you just meet through like casual lobby, or did you like do a glitch game together? Do you guys remember?
I think it was probably glitch game more than likely. How I met everyone, probably through glitch games. I just remember, I don't know what glitches it was. I do remember InfiniteDragon showing me some of the glitches though. Back in the day, just because. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, that's really all the most memory I have is just him just showing some glitches.
yeah. I mean, like it's so far back, like, but if my memory serves me correct, like I was like just hosting like random glitch lobbies, and I think they just popped in. But I do remember like we spent a lot of time on Torval ruins specifically.
Oh,
yeah, I remember.
good
I
old
think
Torval.
honestly, Chris, I think he might have been one of the first to show me like probably how to get on top of Torval using from the magnet wall.
that was
Oh,
Star
man,
Killer.
101 right
Or whatever.
there.
Yeah.
Whenever Star Killer came in.
I think it was around then because I remember this. It was mostly Torval that we did a ton of.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Torval was
that magnet
basically
wall one. It's like
Torval
the
was
bread and
like a
butter glitch.
glitching
Exactly.
paradise.
So let's see. So we're gonna pause because we are gonna start diving into some glitch history here shortly. So Chris actually had some questions for us. I'm gonna just hop to them occasionally.
Okay.
But the first one, this is, let's see. Troy, I'm gonna start this out with you. So
Yep.
Chris asked, what made you guys stay and keep coming back to DL after many years?
Honestly, so the main thing was because the friend group I made during Deadlocked, I still am friends with them now, such as you, Kirk. And then I got Connor, aka Bachelor 41, and Rich King. And it's just one of those things where we always kind of brought back up Deadlocked, and we just all just wanted to play it again. So that's mainly the honest reason why. Is like, well, we know someone who's working on getting it back up, so we're just gonna keep on hoping he gets it working. And lo and behold, Dan got it back up and running, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of from there, just all from there.
Absolutely. How about you, Ethan?
Honestly, I'd say it's really the same thing.
Except for Ethan's a little different because he never plays anymore.
Well, I just don't play it anymore. It's just not
Yeah.
as interesting to me anymore. But yeah, it's really the same thing. It's just because the friend group, yeah. While after Deadlock, the server originally went down and whatnot, or even before that, we were moved like to Call of Duty and a few other games here and there that we kept playing. It just kind of just kept evolving and just stayed together as a friend group. And whenever they went back to Deadlock, everything, it just got me to go back to it and stuff as well.
Absolutely, I feel that too. So my thing, it was several things: glitching, cycling, montages, video making, general nostalgia, and then the players and friend groups. I know with glitching, I continue to find new bugs that scratch the glitch itch I have. Cycling games can give me like a big dopamine rush when I get certain kills, and I've made just tens of montages, gameplay montages over the years. And whenever I hear like a certain song, like some new music that kind of reminds me of Deadlocked, it kind of gets my creative juices flowing there. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then I've met so many friends on this game, and if any of them are playing, I'm more likely to play. And I'm kind of like I don't play too much right now, but it's like there's like a new custom map, or we have just a group that of like 10, 15 on constantly. I'm much more likely to come back and play some. But that's the answer to my question.
Another thing for me also is the fact that at the end of whenever we first found out how to like do mods and hacks and whatnot on the original PS2 days, that was just honestly one of the big like game changers to me. And now,
Oh man, that bothered me a lot.
and I bet. And now that we have it back up and running, some of the mods that I actually wrote back in the day, like the no pack respawning on death, like the pack doesn't respawn on death, that was actually one of my original codes that we put onto the server. And then there's other codes that I've written that are now on the server as well. And now I'm majority the writer of the UIA patch stuff. So it's just one of those things where I went from just modding from one sense to actually coding and modding to another sense.
Yeah,
I just remember
Go ahead.
When the modding scene just started on Deadlocked, I remember so many times because at the time our computer room, it had a TV on one side, a computer on the other, and you had to. So Troy was always going back and forth between the two, being because at that time we only had one PS2
And one computer.
and one computer, so he would be doing something on the computer, then move to the PS2, and it was always like either I just wanted to play an actual game while he was doing all that stuff, or I wanted to be on the computer, and I couldn't. He was doing both, so I couldn't do either.
Oh, the struggle is real.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, we're gonna get back to questions for Chris. Chris, when you started the game, what were your did you have any main goals, or did it kind of develop over time? How did that go?
I guess like initially, like you just want to just play a game to have fun. But when I realized that, like, I could be like I could have the most range kills. I guess that was like the short-term goal, just to just try and be as high up as I can.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I know. Touching a little bit on glitching. Did you ever want to be be the best glitcher on the game, or like how about that?
I mean that thought didn't really like the idea of becoming like a good glitcher didn't really come until like way later. I guess until like we all got together and started like making all these glitching specific clans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really. Like I just kind of like wanted to know as much as I could. Because yeah, glitching was like always an interest for me.
Well, I don't know if you touch on this question or not, but is this like how did you come into actually glitching? Like, was Deadlocked your first glitching game, or was there or UAA, or was there one before?
No. So like I don't remember exactly like what game like kind of got me interested. Like, yeah. I probably just like came across some like weird video on something, and maybe like Super Mario 64 like glitches, and I was just like mind blown that like you can do all these crazy stuff. And then it kind of just like chained into like other games, like even like something like Super Smash Bros. Like I remember that same friend that I was talking about that lived, like we just spent like hours trying to like do like these very basic glitches on like Super Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And then UIA came along, or even like Sonic games too, like Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, such a good game.
Yeah, that one had like some cool glitches in there too. And then yeah, it kind of just like carried on into Ratchet and Clank.
Got it. So it's just kind of been one of those things that you've always basically kind of been interested in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that about you. I know. Let's see. And then this is kind of hopping a little bit. Did you stop playing in 2008? It was the summer of 08?
I don't remember the exact time frame. Like it's like a gradual thing, like you just kind of just like come on less and less, like kind of going back to what you guys were saying about like staying on because of the friend group. I guess like the main thing that like stopped me from playing was I kind of just got swept up by the COD hype. Like I entered high school
I
and like
remember that. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like Ethan and Troy, we played a bit of Call of Duty together with the G Dogs. Shout outs to him. Maybe we'll talk about him a bit later, but yeah, like everyone at school, like by the time Modern Warfare 2 came out, like everyone played. Like literally everybody played, at least in my like, you know, my social circle, like, and even like the extension of it. So that's kind of just.
I honestly completely forgot about that time
Because
because
it's like a great migration. You had to play in COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 at that time. I remember.
Yep, it really was. It was huge. Like I remember playing Call of Duty 4 with like Connor and Matt, and then also playing. Now that you reminded me, I definitely played it with you as well, Chris. So like that's one thing I actually did forget about.
So kind of getting back to the topic of friends, who were your top friends in the game?
I mean, like, you know, obviously got to mention Ethan and Troy, of course. Like, you know, starting Defy Logic, like that's that's like the most memorable. Like, even though you know I started like a lot earlier than you guys, that's definitely like the most memorable part of my Deadlock history for me. You know, doing all those glitches, and then you know the two guys that I mentioned now before, JJ and Matt, like, just, yeah, like they were kind of there. They were there a lot during my early days, like pre Defy Logic days. So yeah, I'd say those are the main ones.
Okay. I know you and F-116 Charger hung out a lot, and for those watching, we were actually going to try and get F-116 Charger on, but I have not been able to successfully contact him. But was F-116 Charger one of your best friends, or just more of like a glitch clan companion?
Like at the time, like I would say he was like a good friend, but it's kind of just like he didn't really play that much, you know. Whereas like you know Troy and Ethan, like you know we were on like every day together, you know. It was like that's kind of like the difference between there. Whereas he was I don't remember when he stopped playing, but he
just kind of stopped showing up.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it wasn't like that long lived. So you know it was good in the moment, but I guess that's kind of how I describe it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, he wasn't like really one to talk that much either.
No, he was not.
Okay. So getting back to like memorable moments, what do you have like any of the most memorable events that happened to you while playing DL? Anything that comes to mind?
Other than being number one in Grinch kills.
Well, okay, so I guess like, well, I was gonna say something else, but I guess I could say this too. Like being like a 10-year-old that was like number one in leaderboard. Like I actually got like targeted a lot because like people thought I was like stat cheating, but no, I was just like that's just like literally the only thing that I did. So like literally everybody else that was like trying to like have a lot of revenge kills just kept coming into my games and just like talking shit on the mic.
Oh
and then,
my god!
Like I ended up like there was this one guy. His name was Chris too. His username was Chris G Dog, and like he was like number 2 for a while before my friend JJ came along. Mm-hmm. But like he was like talking shit. Like I don't know if you guys ever hung out on the official Insomniac Games forums.
No,
but like there were lots of there was like not lots, but there was like threads there about like wrenching, and like he was on there too, accusing me of cheating and stuff. And then like the real like vindication moment is when he actually finally challenged me to 1v1, and I absolutely destroyed him.
Nice.
And then, but like yeah, I mean like that wasn't like the most. There's some negative aspects that came with that, but I guess the thing that I actually was gonna say was like, I guess when I met Starkiller, because that's kind of how this all like kicked off.
Do you remember how that was? Like honestly, I don't even remember that period that much of like when we met Starkiller.
Yeah, yes, similar to Charger, like Starkiller, he was like kind of like
he was there and then just kind of gone. Like
he
was always on microphone though. He always talked and whatnot, but like all of a sudden one day again, he was also just gone.
Yeah, I think it was like similar to like how I met you guys. Like I just like hosted a random like, or maybe even he hosted, but it was in Torval Ruins, of course. Like just a random glitch lobby in Torval, and like I don't know, we just vibed really well. Like we stayed up like really long, like just doing random glitches on Torval, and I don't know, we decided to like, oh, you know, let's meet up again tomorrow.
Yep.
And then like I don't remember how many sessions it was in, but like eventually like we started staying up later and later. That like my dad actually woke up the next morning. He's like, "How are you still up?" It's like this is like the first time I just stayed up like the full night, and I remember
We can
There's a
all relate to that,
story.
I'm pretty sure. Go ahead, Troy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially there's a story I want to share that is Badger 41 / Connor story real quick. I think we
I know
shared
which one you're talking about.
Basically, there was a day wherever there was like Connor and I would stay up late just doing random stuff or like modding and things like that. And I got to the point where I just gave Connor my house phone number. Well, he decides to call at like I think 2 or 3 in the morning, and my mom picks up and was like, and Connor's just like, is Troy there? And my mom was like, he's sleeping. Like at 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm like, dude. That's amazing.
And no, I think at that time, I don't think he even knew your real name. I think he still said like Agent Moose or something.
Maybe.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's hilarious.
We all have those moments.
Yes, that just reminded me of something that actually just involves you, Chris. I know, like we all, cause, we were limited more to just YouTube messaging and then talking in game. And it's like, hey, let me get your number so I can get have better contact with you and whatnot. I had your number at one point. I remember it was probably like 2008 or late 2007, and there was a little period where a bunch of us were just being teenagers and prank calling, and I called the number you gave me, and I think your dad answered.
I don't remember this.
Yes, but
go on, yeah.
I remember I prank called, and when your dad answered, I messed with him a little bit. I can't remember what I did, but I remember he was so confused.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a random memory that popped up. I just remember because it must have been like a landline or something that I had your number too.
Oh yeah, it would have, yeah.
Let's see. So getting back to DL games themselves, do you remember the longest game you ever played? About how long it was?
I mean, probably definitely like over an hour. I think like a lot back in the day, like a lot of people, they weren't like as like into the game, like so people like wouldn't really they just leave eventually. So eventually the game would just end because people are leaving. Mm-hmm. But it would have been some like wrench only conquest with like no respawn timers.
Oh my!
I think that's all of our stories to a degree. It's like it's the conquest with no respawn timer. And specifically for me, it was like Dark Cathedral because there's the nodes are so spread out, and it's just ridiculous what you can do if you have like a lot of people playing. You just keep it going forever and ever.
And to this day, we still don't play Conquest.
I know. We need to get some Conquest games. We don't play a lot of traditional games. I feel like at least the last times I've been on, it's just been CTF and Dreadball.
That's it. Yep, that's all it's been.
I mean, like, Koth is fantastic. I feel like we should be playing Koth more, even though I'm sure some do. But yeah, Conquest needs some love. So does Juggernaut.
Domination mode? Come on, that's not classic bubblegum.
What do you guys think about Siege from UAA?
I love Siege. I wouldn't mind if it was a game mode on DL itself.
I mean, it's kind of similar to Conquest, just watered. I mean, Conquest is watered down.
Yeah. Yeah, like I really liked Siege. I was like sad when it wasn't in Deadlocked.
There's I like it. There's just some stuff I don't like about it, like the fact that if you're losing, they're really just gonna kick you down, and just to make the losing team even worse. Like if you're losing, your spawn timer is higher, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, a little broken right there.
Yeah, that's why I removed that. That's why there's a patch to make it so that's not a thing.
Yes. Okay, so getting to some gameplay, we'll hop into the glitch stuff coming up soon. But you know how the sniper didn't have a little scope in DL compared to UIA? Did you ever tape or use a dot?
I definitely tried it. Like I found that at least like when trying it out, kind of like try to line it up so you would end up like taking longer to get the shot off. Like I'm sure if I kept like practicing with it, maybe I would have gotten better at using it, but I just found it like it just felt better to kind of like just go off like feeling instead because I'd get the shot off faster.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. That's how I felt too when I tried it out as well.
Same here, and I tried it too for a few months, and it's hilarious. Actually, if you go back to some of my videos in 2008, you'll see that I occasionally got I was 2 in the zone, and I forgot to take my dot off, so you could see it. And Wrench King says real players use a Cheerio.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Just tap a Cheerio straight to it. I prefer Fruit Loops though.
Off-brand.
Yes. Well, did you have a favorite skin you liked? Because I remember you used Renegade a lot. Was Renegade your favorite skin?
Yeah, pretty much because like I don't remember the lore of it, but like I just want to like stick to like Ratchet, but then like
Is it because
Renegade
you had
was
5
cooler.
fingers?
Not really. I don't know.
Okay.
I just wanted to like have the main character as a skin. But
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
one you had unlocked specifically.
Yeah, mine back in the day was Ratchet, just boring default skin. But as time went on with Revival and stuff, I've been using Thriller. But the only reason I use Thriller is because it's like he has the smallest player model, and I just feel like I can see people easier with him being the smallest player model.
Yeah.
And I know.
just a reminder, is that the like the skinny robot guy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And then I know. Let's see. Troy's yours is Venus. Is that right?
Yep, mine's Venus.
And then Ethan's yours is Mr. Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Always
is
the Sunshine.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Mr. Sunshine because he's human. Is that why?
Just honestly, because he's different. He's different than all the others. Because he's human, I guess. Yeah, that'd be the reason.
Gotcha.
I mean,
I like the bowling shirt.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Because you were bowler. I've seen you. You've done some close to perfect games or whatnot, have you?
The closest I've gotten, I did a 256, which is the
Dang,
closest.
well,
which is
I'm never
my
gonna-
best
I'm
score,
never
which
gonna
is
achieve
really
that.
good. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever achieve that again, but you know.
That's crazy. So getting back to one of Chris's questions he had for us, and I can start us off. So it's what other games have you played since your time on DL, and any current games? So games I've played since we were all playing DL, like we mentioned, Call of Duty. I played several Call of Duty games. I think up until Black Ops 2 is where I kind of fell off. I love Minecraft. I played Minecraft a lot at one point. The Last of Us, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Sly Cooper, Destiny, Elden Ring, Archero, Among Us, and Mario Kart, and a few Pokemon games are things that come to my mind. In terms of current games I play old school RuneScape. I played RuneScape back in the day. I was obviously a nostalgic fan of that time, so I picked up old school RuneScape in 2013. And just kind of like with DL, I play on and off, like maybe take a few months of a break and then come back for a week or two, etc. But that's the current game I play alongside DL. How about you, Ethan?
Honestly, lately I've been doing a lot of. I've been playing a lot of Horizon lately. But
I
Yeah, you
know
did the first one.
huh?
I said not DL Horizon.
No. Oh yeah, no. Like Horizon for PS4,
Horizon
PS5,
Zero Dawn and all that.
Zero Dawn, and Forbidden West. Like I've been playing a lot more single player games lately over anything, just because that's the type of games I enjoy more these days.
I gotcha. Okay. How about you, Troy?
Me lately, like I've been kind of bouncing between Project Evo, which is a rhythm game. I bought Super Liminal again, for like the 3rd time I think it is, just so I can beat it for like the 10th or 11th time. And then also I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently to the point where I've been kind of neglecting like coding for UAA because Minecraft is more important.
You're gonna make the
And
UI players
then-
right if you keep it up.
That's just fine. No, I've been kind of slowly getting back to patch stuff on UAA. It's fine. And
I feel that
then
Minecraft's amazing.
also Halo. I had a very big stint in Halo whenever I finally first got Halo Infinite, which is a very fun game. So yeah, mainly just those few games. Well, now I finally have a good gaming PC, so I can actually finally play games like Risk of Rain and other things too. So hopefully I'll be able to play more. I still want to play some Pummel Party.
Oh, Pummel Party is so fun.
I still want to play that.
About Risk of Rain.
First Year Rain is fantastic.
I've got to check it out.
Actually, one of my favorite games that they're releasing a DLC for next week is Talos Principle 2. I really enjoy puzzle games.
I thought it was going to be a third game because this is DLC.
You know, there's DLC. Yes, DLC.
Okay.
I mean, the second game was just released like
what's
less
it?
than a year
That's
ago.
right. I'm thinking. I'm thinking Killing Floor.
Killing Floor 3. Oh man, I'm looking forward for that, but they don't even have a release date for that yet. Yeah, Killing Floor is actually probably one of the games I put the most hours into, other than Minecraft and Deadlocked.
And Halo.
And Halo. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Halo. Yeah, but yeah, it's still, even to this day, even though I don't play much Deadlocked anymore, that's still one of the games I put the most hours into.
Absolutely. I'd had to go back and see what we put for the hours played and what we mentioned, because I know we pondered on it for a bit and give our numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, Chris, back to you. So what, besides Defy Logic, what clans were you in?
Not just like a bunch of like small ones. So eventually, like I did start playing like with actual weapons, and when I started getting like better, I guess like I never got like super good. Like I was kind of like above average, so I couldn't like get into any of like the top clans, but I could get into like smaller clans. So I'd like just join all these like random tryouts, kind of like I don't know, not exactly like a mercenary, but like I'd go in there and then they would try to like do a clan war, but because we're all shit, we just get like super wiped. But like yeah, nothing notable. Like I do think that eventually I got into like the metal clan, you know, like Sapphire Metal.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's old name. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, like, but like I was like, you know, like fucking like 5th string, whatever, like water boy level. Like I don't even remember what color I chose. I just remember like all the ones that I wanted were taken. But I don't even know if that was an actual thing or like that's just some like dream I came up with. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the Sapphire Metal clan, and I remember you posting videos of gameplay occasionally. Like I know we like a lot of free for all games. I know like 2 of your videos got for the time at least a lot of views. It was the Ghost Station and Miraxis free for all games. Do you remember those?
Yeah. I remember some guy like stole one of them too. That was an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I actually remember his username too. Like he had like some website too. I think he tried to like make games. I don't know what the point of the video though was, but like he literally just took my Miraxis FFA video, like kept all the audio on too. Like even you could like hear everything, but he just like gave weird commentary over it.
Shaking my head. What the heck? Yeah, I remember some of the European players would copy a lot of our usernames and videos and sometimes post them as their own. Not sure if you guys remember that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing going on. Let's see. All right, so we're going to start touching glitching now. So what sparked your interest in glitching on DL?
Pretty much just, carrying over the generic glitching interest from other games. Like somebody, like when I first started, obviously I didn't know anything, so I'm not going to host a glitch lobby. Well, like I guess you could, but then you kind of just hope someone comes and shows you. So I mostly just joined like other people hosting glitch lobbies. And at the time, like kind of like with any game, the peak population is going to be closer to the start, the release. So there's like a lot of them going on like at the start. So it's kind of just how I picked up glitching on Deadlocked.
Okay.
Just learning from random people.
Do you remember, like, was there a specific person you remember first glitching with?
I do have like the memory of it. I don't remember the guy's username, unfortunately. Like, if it probably had like, I think it had like something with soldier in it, but like it was just like a random guy, so like non-notable person. But yeah, he kind of just showed me like the basic stuff, like how to get out of Catachrome, Sarathos Third Island, and how to get like on top of those buildings.
Nice. Okay, and that was probably 2006-ish.
I mean, like very like close release, like even maybe late 2005.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I've always wondered about those glitches, and I'll ask you about them directly, one by one at some point. But yeah, it's just like who found the very first glitches for like, or the basic 101 glitches, like the outside the Catachrome fence, etc. But that's interesting that all the way back in early or late 2005, it looks like you guys are already on top of it.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of like you said, we'll talk about it a bit later, but I think a lot of the mechanics carried over from UIA, like
Oh yeah.
kind of like the OG way of getting through barriers was like using the morphing mod. I don't know if you guys ever remember that.
Yep.
And yeah, that was something from UIA. So I think like day one people already were able to figure out a lot of that stuff.
And I mean, ridge flying was already a thing as well. So because UAA, they just called it angel jumping.
I got to ask. So, like, I know you can like do a simple wrench fly on UIA. Could you actually, like the fly glitch where you get hit and you have like a little multiplier effect and you go up very, very high? Can you do that?
Oh, the one that was just found. Oh, that one. Like on the swing shot.
Yeah.
That one. I think. Yeah, I think that's still a thing, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Bubble gum. You play UA more, I think. Is ridge flying still a thing? Like where you have to use a magma cannon or the blitz cannon on a swing shot?
Let's see.
Okay.
Death by Snowman is in here. I don't know. You can just leave a comment. Can you actually use the swing shot and fly like way above the level in UIA, or is it just like a simple kind of like just fly up and you can like make it on top of something, etc.? You can, if you're listening, you can leave that comment and we'll just go ahead and proceed. But I am curious about that. All right, Chris. So over your entire time of playing DL, who were your main competitive rivals? It can be individuals or clans.
Okay, I guess like going over the history. So like, yeah, one is like the guy that I kind of mentioned earlier. Like I guess it was like the number 2 wrenching guy who was like kept calling me out. And then I guess like on my route to that, like there was that I've only lost 1v1s to 2 people, or like even though I was like number 1 in kills, like I never actually like claimed that I was the best wrencher because like I always knew there were 2 people that were better than me. Mm-hmm. The names were High People 5 and then his clanmate Kano 41. Like I
have Kano 41,
like KANNO 41.
Okay.
They didn't really play that long. They were closer to like the release, but like those guys I kind of like always wanted to like surpass. I never ended up beating either of those guys. And then I guess like in terms of glitching, like I guess like honestly you, Kirk, like I guess like when you kind of like picked up on the scene and like you have that rival clan. Like obviously we were like teenagers and like fighting over who's a better glitcher. Kind of sounds stupid.
Yeah, but back when we didn't give any showcase of how to do the actual glitches, we just did them just to say that hey, this is a glitch that can be done. You just gotta figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And
I guess like a little before that, like Aloha Cool too. He's like kind of the one that actually Aloha Cool. Shout outs to that guy. He's kind of like the guy that
I remember that name.
That guy also, because that was also Zedo, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Zedo was like honestly, he's the one that actually started all of this. Like, cause I saw his videos. I don't remember what.
Actually, to be fair, yeah, you were right. Like he did kind of start the whole glitching, like not the whole glitching phase, but like the rivalry because he stole people's stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He started with like taking some of my glitches and saying they were his. Even though there were already proof of videos of me doing it before him.
Yes,
but like even before that though, like because even though I played like since the start, like I was always on and off, right? But I think like I just randomly decided to like search Ratchet Deadlock glitches like on YouTube one day, like when I was like kind of taking a break, and I saw his videos and I was like, oh, these are cool, like he has some like cool music going on and like these are actually decent glitches. So like I logged in and. That's kind of like what I mean by he started. Like he kind of got me to like log back in after a while.
And who was that? Was that Zedo or something?
Yeah.
Aloha Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I was going to bring this up because you've kind of touched on it. It's like, do you guys remember Omega Glitchers?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Jakin and MGS Master 101.
Because
weren't they kind of like also in the rivalry a little bit? Like they would shit on your videos and say like, "Hey, we found these before you." Along with Zedo.
My still one of my favorite glitches to this day is just not even that it's like amazing glitch or anything. It's just everyone thought it was hacked at the time. before we even knew hacks, which was the hologram, the player hologram.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Classic.
Everyone thought that was hacked in or something, and it was just weird. But I also remember, so going back to that, we did like share like how to do glitches or anything on those videos. Troy and I actually made Defy Logic to share how to do glitches.
Yep.
So like a lot of the first videos that we have are actually us like showing how to do glitches, but then later on when like they were glitches that we actually found, we were like, nope, we're not gonna tell anyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to this day, there's a lot of glitches I don't remember how to do just because of it. But thankfully, I have you, Kirk.
You do.
Because
I know,
you want me.
yes. I was just gonna say, yeah, it's like Chris. Yeah, you and Defy Logic and people like F-116 Charger were definitely my most competitive rivals. Like I love the stuff you guys found, and I was also jealous of the spotlight, and I was like, hey, I want some of that too. So you guys were definitely the top competitors, and I remember it's like early on, especially like I liked explaining things, and I actually had to make an apology for something because I know you got at one point with Zedo Burrow, like you guys were mentioning, he was claiming your glitches, and it's like, hey, we're not going to show people a lot of these glitches because we don't want you to claim them. I think I was the first one to show how to do Hoverbike on the third island, and I did not get your permission for that. And
I remember
just
that. Yeah,
apologize for that. I'm sorry.
That's great though.
Okay, yeah. 18 years later, apology accepted.
Yeah, because like my mind then was it's like, well, I want some attention with like some glitch content, and I'm just like, whatever, I'll include this in this glitch explanation video. But of course, looking back at it, I should have ran that by you. And there's a few other instances I have too with other people that I definitely should have run by them before showing the glitch. But that just came to mind.
No, I definitely remember that. Like, cause I think like at the time it was like more dramatic than you might remember, because like I think like we were actually like beefing.
Oh yeah.
So I think So I remember at the time like I was like, someone's gonna leak something eventually, right? And I was just like. I was kind of just like, oh, now it happened. So I from what I remember, I wasn't like actually that mad, but it was just kind of like, it's in the moment type of thing. So
right. Yeah. But yeah, I know the first videos I saw of you guys. I mean, I saw a lot, but I remember you guys remember the Piggy glitch. He put up a lot of glitch videos.
Mm-hmm. He did a lot of like fusing vehicles and such.
Oh yeah. And then, I saw your ClanDefyLogic page, of course, InfiniteDragon, and then York124, and I can't remember what Deathwilldie was, but
it's Deathwilldie 0.
Okay, that's right. But yeah, I just remember seeing all your videos and just thinking they were great, and I was just kind of like, I want to. You guys actually made me want to like find a lot of glitches and be one of the best at them at the time.
Well, you already know this, but you now have that title for many, many, many years.
Oh yeah. Yep. I'd probably say because Defy Logic, if I remember right, started kind of phasing out in the summer of 2008. That it's like people were going to PS3, like Chris was mentioning, Call of Duty took over, and I know in 2009 you guys found hacks, and that's a whole nother thing right there. But But yeah, I'd probably say around 2008 is when I took that title. But I know like people like InfiniteDragon and F-116 Charger were definitely up there with me for sure.
Yeah. It's still just amazing me how much that you were able to take from Defy Logic glitches and just expand upon them.
Oh,
honestly, like the amount of
glitches,
it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
Stuff I never would have thought of doing, especially the hoverbike surf, dude. They're one of my favorite glitches.
Cool glitch.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we were like gonna touch on that later, but like that's actually like my favorite glitch because like it's like you said, like that's an accumulation of like a lot of people's efforts, like.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like just think about like how that glitch even comes to be, like just how complicated it is. Well, I don't know if like later on you guys simplified the process.
No, it's still the same.
It is still the same.
Like just think of it like I can't even think of like another game that has like something to that level, like where you just have to go through like so many just random stuff to achieve something, and it's like a cool effect too, right? Like the fact that you can drive on the water with the vehicle, like I don't know. To me, that's actually like my favorite glitch. Also, like it's just mind blowing, like the process that we arrived to get to there, and like all the people involved.
Yes.
Yep. And what I love about that glitch though is later on I figured out how that actually not exactly how it works, but why it works. And it's because in one of the vehicle states, it's just to say if the vehicle is able to drive on water or not. And usually the only reason it's possible is because obviously the vehicle's on fire. But that glitch prevented the fire part, so made it always be able to drive on water. It's literally just a 0 and a 1 for it to drive on water.
Yeah, it's crazy how that glitch came about because, yeah, it's like, I'll just do a quick walkthrough from my memory. So you cord pull into the water, you had to let it respawn, but then you had to get in it quickly and destroy it. And it kind of respawns in this like state where you can't hurt it, or at least like if you're not inside of it. I think because it's like you're not the host. You have to not be the host to do it. You sit inside, let someone hurt you with on the opposite team or with blowing up vehicles. That's just how we did it usually. And then you get pushed into the water, and the hoverbike doesn't explode on your screen. You just start gliding, and on the other person's screen, your hoverbike blows up, and it respawns on the pad. And then you get someone to hurt that hoverbike. It heals, and then you can move around.
Drive on water. Yeah,
this is crazy.
I just remember when I saw that glitch, I thought that was like the peak. Like that was the a mind blowing glitch.
Yeah,
no, like that,
glitch
like
too, isn't it, Ethan?
Oh, it's my favorite glitch, easily.
Yeah, I mean, like when at that point, because I think like that glitch made me also like log in too, because I think at that point like I wasn't really playing, but like I remember when you guys posted that, like my mind was blown, and I was just like, oh, you know what? Like, we're done. Kirk has taken over the world.
Exactly.
And yeah, I remember like, yeah, because G-Dogs kept he kind of like always kept messaging me like throughout the years, and like yeah, he kind of like told me, oh, get on, I'll show you how to do it. And yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll tell a little brief story of how all that unfolded, because I remember. Chris, you had a video back in the day called, I think, Infinite Charger Glitches. It was you and F116 showing some glitches off.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was the first time I actually saw like the hoverbike in a 0 health state. And I think I just figured it out by myself a few weeks later after I saw that video. And then I saw that it's like, hey, it actually glides in the water. And I remember we were trying some things with it. Didn't have any luck with we didn't think we'd ever be able to move it, to be honest. We thought if we got health, it would just fall in the water. But this is how it was found. So I remember, and this is one part I always be like, I wish I wasn't on vacation. But I was down at the beach with some family, and you remember Freakazoid?
Hmm.
So Freakazoid and G-Dogs were glitching together. And somehow they didn't know how they did it, but Freakazoid just started being able to control the hoverbike. And I remember seeing it while I was on vacation, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I'm like, so how do you guys do it? And they're like, oh, we don't know. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And so, I just thought me and G-Dogs were in a game for probably about an hour, and I just thought, okay, he has health. And then so I looked, I'm like, that's right, it respawns right there. And I said, okay, dude, I think I got it. I shot a B6 on it, and sure enough, it healed him, and that's how we fully figured out the glitch, essentially. Yep. So it's like I wasn't the first one to do it, but I essentially kind of put the math together and figured it out.
Yeah, now that you remind me, actually, I think it was part of the drama, because I remember we recorded it too after, and I think I think I actually credited G-Dogs and Freakazoid as the original finders, which I guess to your story is technically true, but
yes,
I mean you're the one that figured it out, so
right.
I guess your name should be there too.
Yeah, that's there was always some beef over that, because since obviously didn't do it first, that's the big thing right there. So it's because it's like how do we determine who actually finds a glitch if you come down to that specific. But anyways, that just reminded me of that story. Okay, well, we just got into a lot right there, and there's more to come, I'm sure. So, Chris, what is your proudest accomplishment on the game? Because I know you've mentioned your wrench rank. How about like a glitch? What's the proudest glitch you've ever found or done?
Man, honestly, like I was thinking about this for a while, and to be honest, I can't really like pinpoint one because unlike what we just talked about, like I don't think I found anything that was like super like mind bending. It's kind of just like I found like a lot of smaller things.
I disagree, but continue.
Well, go ahead, tell us, Kirk.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like misremembering what I found or not, but like because I was even going through like some of my older videos, I was like, because I think a lot of like the big glitches kind of were like lag related, and to me, like I kind of credit Charger with that because I don't know if he's the one that like came up with the idea to chord pull. Because
yep,
I mean, like
what I remember, he was the first one to show us fused Hoverbike and Puma at Moraxis.
Yeah, that like he's the one that like kind of showed me the chord pulling thing, but technically you could do those without chord pulling.
Right.
But like since a lot of like the bigger glitches are like lag chord pulling related, like I don't know, to me like I always like thought very highly of him in like the whole glitch scene. I don't know, I guess like at the time, I was like really happy that I found getting the Hoverbike on Serathos.
That is like the
I don't know,
glitch I think of when I think of you, for sure. That's a big one that has led to several other glitches over the years being found. Just for
the Hoverbike on Strathos Island. That one, yeah, that one, dude. That's a classic. Like so many people do that glitch. That's one of the glitches you just show someone if they don't know any glitches on Strathos.
Yes, and I was just going to elaborate because I threw a few at you to just ponder on for stories. We'll get to those later, but yeah, it's like you were, I'm pretty sure, the first one to do walk through walls at Catacrom and Moraxis. That's major because people wondered for the longest time. It's like there's water here, but how do you do the walk through walls with the circumstances, etc. And then you mentioned Hoverbike Third Island. You guys were the first ones to also, I'm pretty sure, mess with like ejecting your disc upon starting the game. I'm not sure who first did that. But I'm pretty sure
that's the one that was just mentioned to you. That one I completely forgot about. Like, how like the fact that you just eject your disc and you don't have a HUD.
Yes.
Like honestly, I don't even remember like how I came up with the idea. Like, it probably came from a different game, but like I don't know. I just like one day I was just like, let's just try it, and then I just tried it. And then that happened, and I was like, "Oh, this was some cool stuff."
Now, just a reminder: when do you eject your disc right as the game's loading, or? Because I don't remember
that specific effect. I don't remember, but like knowing how I would like go about this, I'd probably try ejecting the disc at every point.
Yeah.
Like various points, and just see what happens.
Yeah, it was done. So it's like you would see the loading screen for the level coming up, and as soon as it went black, you would eject right there.
Oh, okay. So
it's like you guys. So it's like, and so there was already a no HUD glitch you could do, but if you remember, you could not switch your weapons or press the start menu. You couldn't exit.
Yeah, that's when you press start and X.
Yes,
you press start and X at the same time.
Yes, and so that was such a nice quality of life glitch right there because I'm even gonna tell you, man. It's like I think. There was a period in DL, I think it was in 2009, where like a lot of montages were made, and people used that no HUD glitch to use like cinematics and whatnot. So that just became a huge glitch over time, and that's something that I don't know if it was you alone, but I think it was you and Troy found together. I can't remember.
Probably. I don't remember, honestly. It's one of those things I completely forgot about that glitch.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I don't need it anymore. I have a free cam that has no HUD already.
But yeah, we'll get to some other ones later, specific glitches. But staying on the topic of glitching, so you mentioned Hoverbike Surf is probably your favorite glitch ever, or one of them. What are your favorite 3 glitches?
Okay, so another one actually just popped in my head. So it's, you remember that glitch that like, if you do like the unkickable glitch in the lobby and like you kind of do something like you can actually like get weapons in a game that like in a wrench game, for example.
Yes.
That's another example of like, man, like how did people come up with this? It's like the whole process. Because like if I remember, you had to like like when you're in the unkickable state, like after like a certain amount of seconds, or a certain amount of time, that's when you like get into the game, and then that's when it happens or something like that.
That's it. Yeah, it's like you're in an unkicked state. Your counter goes to, I think, right after -25. That's when you are invisible. Like you won't. Spawn.
Yeah.
And I think when you're invisible, you're able to do that then.
Yes.
Yeah, because like you're invisible, and then is it that you could the person who's invisible could pick up weapons, and then if they die, their pack still shows up, and then other people pick it up.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like,
I know that glitch also triggered something else. Like, I don't know if you guys ever encountered this, but and I can't remember how this is honestly done, but sometimes when you were in a lobby and you did that, you would see, you know how you have your team colors at the top right. There was a black player one time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's just I don't know how that exactly happens. It's probably just weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Because also you could sometimes see like a blue square next to it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes a glitch will be like a black player or like a blue square next to it. Yeah.
I just had a random memory. I'll make this quick. I just it's actually a memory of you, Chris. So you guys mentioned how Torval was your favorite glitch map and whatnot. I remember there was a period. You remember getting the hoverbike on top of that magnet wall building?
Yeah, like on top of the building or in the little square thing?
On top of it, not in the square thing.
Okay, yeah.
I remember. I think this is in 2007. I was in your glitch game. I think we had, we kind of knew each other then, but not too well by those standards. But I remember, it's like you probably wanted to show off some cool glitches, but of course not show how they were done. So I remember like everyone in the lobby was like chasing after you, going like, what's this guy gonna show us? Because they've seen your videos.
I forgot about those days.
And I remember you were in the hoverbike. You ran around the level to get away from us, and you used that little rock to ramp up on top of the building. And it's like no one saw how you did it, but everyone was just kind of like pondering. It's like, how did he get up to the building from that area? But I just remember you showing that off and trying to not actually show it in game. That was just a memory that popped up.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember that. Like, I do remember like running around Torval, like running from people.
Just so they would see how to do it.
Yeah, I forgot that they would actually do that. Like, you were a known glitcher, they would just chase. They would just follow you.
Follow every single thing.
Everything.
Yes. I feel like that's the reason why I had a random glitch account. Like,
I could see that.
That makes sense.
So that no one knew.
All right. Well, getting on the topic of friends. So who are some people you want to reconnect with from the game that you haven't talked to in a while?
So like I mentioned, G-Dogs, I kind of like stayed in touch with him for a while. Like, I guess, like we actually ended up like playing League together, like sometime several years ago. But I don't know. Have you guys heard from that guy in a while?
Yeah, he was on the server. He joined Horizon early on, I think it was. I remember him playing like Infected and whatnot a few times.
Yep, he did, and yes, I've not only kept up with him at least occasionally, but I've also met him in real life. So I can give you his number. I actually reached out to him when I asked if you know what happened to F-116, and he doesn't know either. But I'll message you his number, let him know that I gave you his number just for the heads up.
Yeah, because like when you guys like set this whole up, like the server up, like he kept like inviting me to come play, and I kind of feel bad now because like he did frequently reach out to me, like even like they're kind of like a couple years like pre-COVID where like I don't know, I just wasn't in the best mental state, and like he kept reaching out to me, and like I kind of just kept putting it off, and like even like when he wanted me to play Deadlock on here, I was just like, I don't really feel like it, and then like eventually I was like, okay, I'm down this time. And he's like, so we set up a time, and then he's like, oh, okay, but I can only stay on for an hour because then he has to go play with a different game with his girlfriend. And I was just like, oh, you know what, don't worry about it. And then I don't know, like after that, like we just never messaged each other from then. But shout outs to Michael, if you watch this, appreciate you.
Oh yeah, me and Michael have some great memories too. I know we kept in contact over the years, and I met him in real life in 2018. He's over in Florida. Just went down there and we hung out for a few days and had a great time. But yeah, I'm sure he would love to reconnect with you because yeah, he pops in to DL every maybe year or two. He'll just pop in for like a week or just a few days.
Yep.
So yeah, I would definitely let him know.
Actually, I just found it funny. Like one of the things when he first started, he was like, "I'm gonna try to find some glitches." And he found one in Infected on how to get to the on top of Leviathan's lair in
He
the
did.
game mode Infected. I'm like, bro.
I know. Yeah, it'd be hard to explain how that's all that to Chris, how that's all goes about. But that was hilarious that he just found one like that with Infected. It was cool.
Like within like the first day or two, he started playing Verizon, playing on Deadlocked again. He already found a new glitch. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that sounds like Michael. Let's see. So I'm going to jump to one of Chris's questions, another one, and then we'll take a little short break and come back. So this is for Ethan, Troy, and I. Have you ever thought about speedrunning campaign mode and trying for the world record? And I'll start us off. I have, and people keep telling me to do it. The only reasons I haven't really are personal priorities and just time and motivation to sit down and like learn all the speedrun tricks and just set everything up. That's really the only thing that's stopping me.
And yes, that's basically the same with me. Like I've actually have tried to do it, but it's the time of taking to learn the strategies is one of the big times that takes a lot of time. Learn all the other glitches that you gotta learn, like the wrench fly one where you have to. I don't know what they call it, but it's where you open the start menu, change the change your camera to third person and back to block space, and then you're able to wrench again.
Yeah, and also I'd say the same thing, and it's also that like the glitches in single player are completely different than
some of them are, yeah.
Like some of them are just completely different than what you would do in multiplayer, and they actually they take a lot of time to learn.
I agree. Yeah, there's so many glitches there, and then like Troy mentioned, there's some start menu bugs in the PS3 version that work with the speed run, and it's just kind of like I don't know if I could do like hours upon hours of trying that to beat a world record, but I might do it someday.
There's a speedrun glitch on the PS3 where if you can finish the game when you have 100% complete game, you then load the game, or you start a new game, you then load that new game, and then somehow you like stop it from loading in the middle of it, and you're newly completed in the new game you made. You already have Vox unlocked and everything, so you just go straight to Vox and kill him, and it counts as you. It's like you beat the game in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like that's super cheap. I'd be really bored with
it's
that.
stupid. Like I like the thought that people found that, but like also, I'm not gonna go through the racket just to beat the full game once and then just to try and beat the game in 3 minutes.
Exactly, I feel the same way. Let's see. Yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and take a short 5-minute break. Just if anyone needs to use the restroom or whatnot. So I know I do. So.
Yep. I'll be right back.
All right, sure. Yep.
All right. Well, we're back. We'll go ahead and continue on with the questions. So, Chris, what did you dislike the most about Deadlocked?
I guess the fact that the meta around the games was like kind of just really stale. I guess I don't know. I guess eventually I kind of got bored of just using the same 3 weapons over and over. I guess that's why like some of my videos involve using like the flail and the rocket.
Well, don't join now.
Oh yeah, it's the
that's basically all it
is still 3 weapons.
Yeah, I mean I figured.
Yep. Yeah, no, I totally get that because I know just several more casual players have always complained about the lack of use of the other 5 weapons.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's just the competitive scene has always been with cycling and sniping in at least the recent years. So what is your favorite map on the game?
Oh, okay. Aesthetically, Ghost Station.
Good choice.
I guess you agree. I guess I was gonna say like I don't know if people would agree with that, but I don't know. I like Okay, I don't even know where to begin with what I like about it. I like the bigger maps first of all. Like I feel like there's like kind of more to do.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever like you play like rotating King of the Hill on it, I kind of like locations of it. In terms of like other stuff, I kind of do like Valix too, like a kind of like as a polar opposite, for kind of being like a small map. Like I feel like it kind of offers something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And then shout outs to Torval Ruins, of course. It's kind of
yeah, the OG glitch map right there.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Yeah, my favorite overall map is Meraxis, and that's just including glitching, King of the Hill, CTF, and it's like the main 1v1 map over the years. But yeah, in terms of glitching, Torval is like king to me. Okay, well let's see. So we're going to touch a little bit on Defy Logic history here. So what is your favorite Defy Logic glitch montage? That can include the ones that you put up or the ones that Troy and Ethan put up on the ClanDefyLogic channel.
It's hard to single one out because they all have their own like story. I mean, like kind of the first one that I made, is because it's very nostalgic because, it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of like, it's more like the process of kind of like finding the glitches, or even if it's one that I already found. Like we're going through the problem of trying to record it. Like for example, I think it was the one that I put up to 5.4. Like there's the elevator turret.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and then like Troy and Ethan. I remember we spent so long trying to film that.
Yep.
And like
it takes so long for us to get to even do the glitch.
Yeah. And like this, like I just swear this went over like a span of multiple days. And then we finally got it, and I just remember like I wasn't happy with what I recorded, but I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna ask these guys to do it again." So, like stuff like that, like it's kind of memorable in a way, and like adds to the story of the montage. But in terms of even in terms of just like the actual video, I don't know, like they're all like special,
Absolutely, I know what you mean, because I feel the exact same with the Glitchbusters montages I've made over the years. It's like each montage had some little story in there, especially the earlier ones for me before a lot of people quit. Because I think, let's see, I think Troy and Ethan found the elevator turret around when you guys made 4. I think it's actually in 5 because I watched the videos recently. And I think you guys squeezed it in to number 5 because I think, like you said, it was very hard to get. And so it missed 4.
I just remember
taking forever to try and get that.
And then, dude, I remember, Kirk, you showing a so much easier way to do it.
I did find a very easy way to do it.
When you told me how to do that easier way, I was like, really? That's all we had to do?
Yep, it's because it always bothered me because I remember y'all doing it, and I remember I actually recorded Ethan and Troy doing it too at one point, and I was just kind of like, there's got to be an easy way to do this. Like, because y'all were going from the turret to the Landstalker and back, and I don't know what y'all were doing between then. But yeah.
The reason, so I think though the difference between yours and mine is that, the elevator turret one is the Defy Logic's one. I think you actually saw I can't remember. I want to say it was probably just difference maybe between host and not, because like I think on ours the host had to do it, but on yours I don't think the host could do it, right?
I think that was it.
Yeah. So it's technically 2 different methods. Yours just tends to be a lot easier.
Yes, and that easy method is literally you get in the elevator turret, you go up just a little bit, cord pull, put your cord back in, and you're doing it.
Yep. And the host, does a host cord pull, or does the person in the turret cord pull?
Either.
Okay.
It's got time them going up perfectly, essentially.
Got it.
Yeah. And then they can't move the turret at all, because if they move, then you'll start going back down. Let's see. Yeah, like with the Defy Logic glitch montages, man, I love those. I remember especially when you got a capture card. I think number 4 was the very first one you used the capture card with. That one, I'm not gonna lie. I bet I'm probably like 1/5 of the views on that one, because I just thought it was amazing. The glitches were amazing. The music was great. I remember in the last glitch in that video, you guys figured out a way to do the fly glitch with that floating hoverbike that would hurt you. And I just remember that always stuck in my mind because the music matched up perfectly with it. And I just thought, what a
Does
creative
it?
way to like just do that flag glitch. It was so
Wait,
good.
wait, does it? I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's pretty epic. Not gonna lie.
Uh,
But
I
yeah,
just know there was one of the glitches I actually was trying to do. I tried right when like the Horizon server came back up. It was a Therathros one where you were on the you slowly walk backwards into the water, and so you're like under the water.
hmm
But like I think that was a glitch montage 3 or 4. I can't remember which one. It's one that's not online anymore. I don't think. I think it was taken down, but I have the Turkey sent me the video of it.
yeah.
That'd be 3 then.
I was just
So
gonna
it's
say, yeah,
3.
it's the glitch montage 3 on Defy Logic's channel was that one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think I
and-
remember the reason you couldn't do it is because you gotta use spawn where you die right there, and you spawn kind of like in
is that how it
the
is?
ground.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, yep, that's probably why I thought it was a totally. I just couldn't remember how to do it, but that actually makes sense.
That's it.
Because what we would always do is we would just try and walk slowly backwards into it and see if we could get it, but apparently that would never get it. So
I thought that's how you did that though. Man, because I thought there was a way to do that without just simply walking backwards into it, but I guess not.
Gotcha. So so Chris, you mentioned you don't have a particular favorite glitch montage, but because each one kind of has its own story, and it'd be a little too hard to choose. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Let's see. So outside of Defy Logic, if you remember any glitch videos, what was your favorite glitch video outside Defy Logic?
So okay. So actually, like I mentioned before, like a lot of like Zeta Burrows ones kind of like sparked the whole thing, but even like similar with that one, like I can't really like pinpoint one exactly because just like kind of the nature of like finding glitches. Some videos, like each video is gonna have some bangers and then some like smaller glitches, so it's like kind of hard to like pinpoint one. But I know for your videos, the one where you found or you guys found how the fly everywhere in like Dark Cathedral and Ghost Station,
Yeah.
Dude,
and, like,
impressive.
you found the weapons stuff like floating above.
Yes.
Like that one was sick. Like that one like blew my mind. I was like, damn, like I don't even play this game anymore, but like this was sick.
Oh yeah, those are some of the most nostalgic and my personal favorite ones, just for the reasons. Because yeah, it's like I know for years it's like we'd always just been able to do Valix, and there was always the rumors that people come up with like, oh yeah, I know a guy who got out, but then they actually didn't. They were just making shit up. And it just reminds me of like oh, I know where the Harbinger is, etc.
I know where the secret hover ship is in Torval.
Yes. But yeah, it's like I people had said, oh yeah, I've gotten out, but no one ever had any evidence, and so but we use actually Defy Logic's you fuse 2 hover ships together, and you have one driver, and you find a certain location in the map where the barrier is kind of squished, and you get the other hover ship that's following you to push you through the barrier. So that's how we were.
To be honest,
that's one
I actually
example.
figured. Yeah, I kind of like guessed that's kind of how it did, and like I was kind of like, I mean, obviously, like I never like logged in to try it, but like I was kind of like, oh, why didn't we think of that like a long time ago?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things
Honestly,
like, why?
There's a lot of glitches that I've seen Kirk do. I'm like, why didn't I just think of that? Like, why didn't we think of that before? Like, it's some of them were just so simple, but like
It's a lot
like
to
some-
consider. Like this
Did-
game is very
yeah.
very vast in terms of glitches, and it's just you need to sit down and really think about it for a while.
Some of the glitches we were so close to doing, we just need to go that one little bit farther to do it.
Yes. But yeah, that was definitely some of my favorite times of the game for sure. And then yeah, you mentioned Zedo Burrow had some good glitch videos and montages. I remember one in particular that stood out to me. I'm pretty sure he was the first one to figure out how to get the Puma in certain locations. Like,
Yep.
And I think that was like Nuclear Glitches 8, where he would.
Correct. He was the one who figured out how to actually get the Puma inside of the fences in Miraxis. That I will give that to him.
Nice.
out of some of the stuff that he has stolen, he did figure out how to get the Puma inside the fences of Miraxis.
Oh yeah, like you guys have touched on. I know you. While Defy Logic and Glitchbusters had their beef, I know you guys had a lot of beef with Zedo.
There was a lot of
There's a
beef at one
lot.
point.
I remember honestly before I even like got into the glitch scene, I just remember in the YouTube comments just all the arguing.
Oh yeah, there was a lot at one point. It was
So-
almost ridiculous.
And
Going
Zedo
back
was
onto-
always starting it. It felt like.
Oh yeah,
It was.
he
It was always him starting it. Like we wouldn't really say anything until he said something.
Right.
Again, going back to like the glitch that we were so close to doing. Zero's Burrows getting into the fences was one of them because all you had to do was just use vehicles, get both vehicles out there, and then the host just had to leave.
Right.
Then the Puma would just stay over there because, well, the host left, so the Puma is going to move to where the game thinks it is.
Yeah.
So it was just that simple to do, and it was just something we didn't think about.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't think about that either. And it's funny. This is so weird. You know how we were talking about how Hoverbike surf is so complicated. You never think you could get a result of a glitch like that out of what you did. So I actually, it was probably 6 months after Zedo found that. Me and a player named Fire found out I actually had to do that glitch without anyone leaving the game.
Oh,
And
really? Oh, okay.
Yes, and it's crazy how it happened. So it's like, you guys remember Zedo called it the Insanity Puma. It's the Puma back wheelie glitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much you would get the Puma in that state, and you would fuse. This is crazy. You'd fuse the Puma back wheelie to a Hoverbike. You'd have the person who did the cord pull suicide with someone in the Puma turret. The person in the Puma turret would stay dead. The person who fused the bike would go to a location. The Puma would respawn and actually teleport to where the person was. And if you respawn, the Puma would be there. It was
Oh.
That's
weird.
so interesting.
It's so
Interesting.
weird, but that's how that worked from my memory.
Yeah, one of the early glitches I could think of that it was so simple, but Troy ended up finding how to do it everywhere. It was the teleportation.
The teleporting
glitch.
thing? Mm.
Classic. Yes, I remember seeing that.
You just because the first and that's actually doing that when I found that it just happened to coincide with the
Same night with the hologram glitch.
same night with the hologram. Because I was
And
trying
Death Wild D?
and DWD. Oh my god, fuck it. What's his face? Star Killer and Death YD.
Hey, Death Wild D, come back. Oh, sorry, Death Daddy.
Speaking of Star Killer. Oh, go ahead, Ethan.
But that's one of the glitches that I'm just saying, that was found, and then Troy, I think, maybe a week later, he found out how.
I found out exactly
everywhere
why it
just
works and how to
with the
do it.
Puma. It's just so interesting.
That is awesome that you found that. Speaking of Star Killer, I remember a video because he was the main uploader for a while on the ClanDefyLogic YouTube page, and I remember there was one video he made where he was going kiss in the ass, kiss in the ass.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. It's such early YouTube days, man.
Yeah.
I know. Crazy teenagers in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Plenty of stories there that it's like if you looked at the modern times, it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Exactly. You're right.
Stuff that you couldn't do today, and if you did, you probably wouldn't be on YouTube.
That's right. You'd just be a cringe person.
Exactly.
Okay, Chris. So, what is your favorite year of Deadlocked?
The day it died.
Yeah.
That's so
No. Well, it's still alive, technically, no.
No, it is. It is.
I don't know. I guess whenever we kind of started all this stuff, I guess what is that, 2007-ish?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's kind of like I said, even though I've been on there since the start, this was the more the ClanDefyLogic was definitely the more memorable stuff for me. So yeah, I'd have to go with that.
Yeah, and 2007 was a great year in general because it was peak player population too, if I remember correctly. At least I didn't play in 2006, so I don't know what it was like in 06, but I heard it was like decent size, but '07 was kind of like the high bar in terms of the population.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a great year for sure. And with the topic of Ethan and Troy, and myself, so Chris, what is your first memory of each person present here?
Right. So I guess like mentioned before, I think, well, I guess like Ethan kind of has a similar thing. Like we kind of just met on like Torval Ruins. I guess that's kind of just how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like the first impacting memory was like the hologram glitch day, that when we were like kind of just there for several hours, and then eventually I don't remember if this was like a span over multiple days, but I remember like Starkiller found a hologram, and then I think we didn't know how he did it, and then I don't remember if both Ethan and Troy were there, but I know like Ethan was there because he's in the video. I think you were in the video, right? Yeah, you were just
all
talking about
there. Yeah, we were all there,
and we spent like a long time like trying to figure that out. That's like that was like the first like big memory that I can think of for these two.
Yep.
Then for Kirk, you kind of like crept in, right? Like it's kind of like you were saying before, is like you kind of came in and like you were like kind of entering the scene slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like my first, and like we weren't like directly involved either, because like me, Ethan, and Troy, we were like in the same clan together. Well, you were kind of like on the side. Like I think I met you through G-Dogs. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, because we weren't like directly involved. Like I just knew you were like kind of like creeping in the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So if I remember correctly, we met in the fall of 2007, and the reason I remember this is because I had a old YouTube channel before the one I had. The current one I have, the original name was Clan Future Tools. You probably remember that name.
Yeah, I remember that.
But before that, I had another YouTube channel. It was called Riker580, and I'm not sure if you remember this, but I had like 200 very short videos of like, it was recorded from a Razer flip phone, and I would do glitch videos on them. And I remember
From
you
a
were
Razer.
Yes.
Oh man.
I know, dude. It goes way back, but I remember you commenting on a few of the glitches that I did. And that's where I first like actually interacted with you. But in terms of, I think like maybe hanging a little bit out in game. Do you remember the clan Threads of Life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Saliva's glitch clan. I know you. We competed with Defy Logic too around then, and I think we did some glitch games together, but like nothing like where we were showing each other like any cool glitch that we didn't want anyone to know. But I think that's where we first kind of like interacted in the game. Then, like you mentioned, me and G Dogs I joined up with Defy like in I think the first half of 2008, and we all collaborated on a lot of things before I kind of like veered off and started Glitch Busters, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay, let's see. But yeah, that was my first memory of you as well, on YouTube and then in person. So let's talk about some players. So I know mentioned earlier F116 Charger was supposed to be here. How did you first meet F116 Charger? Do you remember?
Okay. This one might be a little bit fuzzy, but if I remember correctly, like it has some relation to Zedo also. Like I think he also didn't I think he wanted to join Zedo's clan, but like he got rejected too, because like I also got rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think like he just like approached me and he's like, hey, because I was like hosting glitch videos too, and I think he saw, or like glitch lobby, sorry, and I think he joined in, and he's like, hey, I have this idea, like can you like help me with it? And that was like the cord pulling thing. It's something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember like there was some involvement with Zedo, and like me and him had some like mutual like something against Zedo, and that's kind of how we met up.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I'd always wondered how you guys kind of like all formed up, because I know Ethan and Troy mentioned, I think it was in sometime in 2006 you guys started glitching a little together, and then in 2007 y'all created the clan. And then there was, I know you all remember Cheese Rules. I remember he had a lot of glitch videos back in the day, but his channel is gone. I think I have his contact info, so if you guys ever want to reach out to him, I can give you his contact info as well.
He was also on PS3. Like I remember seeing him on PS3 when
Yeah.
that was a big thing.
Adam.
And then we touched on Starkiller a few times. So Starkiller, he just kind of like disappeared in 2007.
Yeah.
Is that right? And y'all just don't know what happened
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, I have no idea. He just like all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I'm gone." All right. Never.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like some people, they're just
That's
not
just
that
how-
interested in the
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's happened to many people. So
Out of curiosity, do you guys know what happened to the piggy?
nope.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, because I think his last video was in like early 08, and then he just kind of vanished. I'd always wondered, because I have not heard from him since. So I was just curious. And then there was a player, I never met this guy. I remember he used to talk shit about me a lot. But he was in Defy Logic. Let's see. Dart Master 462.
Dark Master. That sounds familiar, actually.
Yes. Okay. So I don't remember how like we recruited this guy. I know he did like contribute like a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
But if I remember correctly, like there was some guy who like almost never went on the mic, and I think that was him.
That was probably him. Yeah.
Okay.
Like that name does sound familiar.
Yeah, because like I remember I looked at like a lot of the people that kind of appeared in some of the older videos, and well, like I do recognize his name, but like I don't remember anything about him.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, yeah, the name's familiar, but I don't remember anything about him, and I don't think he was actually in any of the videos either.
Okay.
That I could remember.
He was in some of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember. I think he actually popped up in the last one you did, number 5. I think he got on just briefly, and he did a couple of glitches with you.
Got it. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember him all that well.
Let's see. So I guess would you say that Troy, Ethan, Chris, then Charger, and Starkiller, y'all were kind of like the face of Defy Logic? Would you say?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that was really the main. Honestly, there weren't too many.
I mean, if I remember
people
correctly,
there.
I mean, I remember. I mean,
Switch
Kirk,
foot?
you were in Defy Logic after a certain amount of time too, though. But that was after you already done like glitches and such for your own clan.
Right. Would you say Switchfoot is up there too?
Oh, Switch.
Oh, yeah,
So, yeah, I was
was
about to name him
there.
as like a next person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I know, like yeah, he ended up finding some stuff later on, like 'cause, yeah.
Weapon switching Puma, if I remember correctly, that was one I think he did.
Yes, I remember that.
Yep,
Do you remember what specific glitches he found? Because I remember there was one that you guys first posted, I think, that you gave him credit for, and I mean, I'd never seen it done. It was the walk through walls of the Hoverbike. He kind of
That's the one that I associate with him. That's the one I was
me too.
thinking of.
Walk through walls with Hoverbike.
Like you like ride the hoverbike against the wall and then
Against the
angle
wall.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
You just
That's
angle
such
it a
a
certain
good.
way and
That's
you go
such a
right through
good
it.
glitch,
it
man.
is. You could do it in so many places. Like I
Mhm.
remember the popular place is that Torval wall, but yeah, you
Yeah.
can do it so many places. It's crazy. And then we brought Freakazoid. I remember.
Yep.
Let's see. I first met Freakazoid, I think, in late 07 or early 08. But yeah, I know him and that middle finger guy were known for the getting the bike on the Leviathan's lair.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah,
have
so-
any specific memories about Freakazoid?
Yeah. So him and I actually kind of like have, I guess, a little longer history than I initially thought. But like, yeah, because I don't know if you guys can like remember anything, but like there was kind of some like running joke in the community that me and him were the same person because we sounded the same.
I
don't know,
remember
did you
that.
know
I
that?
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
And the thing is like he said that he had like speech impediment, but like I'm not diagnosed with that, so I'm like, wait, do people think I have speech impediment? But
You kind of
Yeah,
sound
no,
like
that was
Freakazoid
like-
without the speech impediment. Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like the thing between me and him. I guess because of that, like we kind of became friends. Like I guess even before the Defy Logic times,
Mhm.
and like he was kind of just on the game for a long time, so we kind of just always like did stuff together.
Yeah,
And,
I remember.
um,
I remember Freakazoid just always just being on the game. Like he was one of those people that was kind of always there.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and I remember. Yeah, it's like and Freakazoid's name is Kendall, and I know Kendall and I.
Yeah.
He had we had a friendship too, but I know at times we had also some heavy beef. I think in 2008, along with showing off Chris's hoverbike on Third Island glitch. There's a point where we're all kind of like, oh yeah, I'm quitting the game. Bye guys, I'm never coming back. Well, Kendall or Freakazoid did that at one point, and he wasn't on for a few weeks, and so I was like, well, I guess since he's off, I'm gonna show how to get the hoverbike on Leviathan's lair. And then he came back the next week, and he's like, what the fuck, man?
Well, you said you were gone.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm like, I thought you quit. I'm sorry. But that's another example of where I should have asked permission, because at that time we were all very guarded with the glitches and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, because of that led to me, Starkiller, and I think Ethan getting the 5 or 6 hover.
Oh no, I did not play that night. It was just you and Starkiller.
Oh my goodness.
Because I remember you, I think it was you. You were the one that was just going back.
I was juggling through the hoverbike so they wouldn't.
Oh, and Starkiller was the one bringing him to the island or something. I remember that night because I don't remember why I didn't play, but you guys were on for hours just to do that one
If my
thing.
memory serves me correctly, I know, yes, Moose and Starkiller, and it was, I think, in the second glitch video on ClanDefyLogic that glitch was in, and it was actually just inside that building on the third island, and that was before I ever leaked those glitches, but then afterwards, in the I think glitch montage number 3 on ClanDefyLogic, you and I and maybe one other person got the 6 hoverbikes on Leviathan's lair.
Okay, yeah. Probably that then, yeah.
Yeah, because there's 2. Yeah, there was one where they're just on the third island in the building, and then, there's the other one where they're actually on top.
I think I did that twice.
Yeah.
How about that? And I only know this because I've watched, to prepare for this, I watched a lot of stuff. I'm like, God, I just totally forgot about some of this stuff. It's just fresh on my mind.
One of them, honestly, I'm going way off topic, but one of the glitches I don't remember how to do is in I just forgot the other place. It's the one where it has the circles and the swing shots to go across the platforms.
Cathedral?
Nope. And then there's a magnet wall in the middle that you can go under the level.
Ghost Station?
Nope.
I
just can't remember.
It's not ringing a bell. Magnet walls.
Battle Dome?
We'll just start naming levels.
Torval?
I can't even. Yeah, Tempest there.
Tempest.
Connor's
like, bro, how do you not know this?
See, that's how.
You know how long it's been since I've been on here. Anyway, Tempest.
And who plays
that level? And who plays Tempest? There's a glitch to get down under on one of the platforms. Or on an edge.
Oh, the triangle area. Oh,
the triangle area.
Triangle area, and then you could get farther down, in between the walkways.
Yeah, I can't. No, not even.
But there's that little area you can fall down onto.
Yeah, there's an area you get down onto. If you try, you usually die. But you get onto. I think it involves a vehicle or something to get down there. But that's one glitch I was watching. I can't remember how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some glitches I watch. I'm like, I remember doing that, and I'm obviously right there because you see me in the video, but I don't remember how to do it.
That's a lot to keep up with. So.
It really is.
I'm surprised you kept up with it, Kirk. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for being really passionate about glitching in this game, I probably would have forgotten most of the glitches. But since Connor here and Dan continue to drop custom maps, I get to still glitch occasionally. So it comes
you keep on going. Yep.
Yeah, it's super nice when they do those. Yep, Connor dropped a little smiley face.
And, Matt might be dropping tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, he just mentioned there's a new...
Oh, he just said it,
yeah. Ready for playtesting. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely test it after the podcast. But
I think I guess I'll play tonight, too. Why not?
Let's go. hey, Chris, you can hop in if you want and just get to see a custom map if you're down.
Do you have a gaming PC?
Yeah, it's pretty modern.
You can play. You can download Dezo, and you can play all from PC.
That's Unity client.
Mm.
So yeah,
we'll see.
All you need is the game ISO.
Well, anyway, let's see. Touching on some other players, so we actually have Badger and Wrench King right here in the chat with us, and Badger had other accounts, I Am Me and Venom. Do you remember those names?
I remember. Yeah. I remember
B3
Badger.
Nom.
Do you have any memories of Badger you recall?
We didn't really. Okay, to my remember, like we didn't really interact that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, Badger.
And
It's funny because out of all of us here, at least I remember right now, I think Badger was the one who played first. Like, because InfiniteDragon started in 2005. Badger started early, like January 2006. So.
And then we got Wrench King here. I don't know if Wrench King, did he have any other accounts early back in the day?
He has a question for you,
Bloodlust. He had Bloodlust.
Bloodlust, okay. Okay. The only reason I asked
the Wrench King because he is in one of my videos, no? Like pretty sure.
He is. Yeah, he's doing the turbo controller flail glitch.
Oh my goodness.
Wrench King glitch.
Yeah. I forgot. Oh, dude, Matt, I completely forgot. You were actually pretty well known to having turbo controllers.
Yeah, he was one of the few other than Troy and I.
Yeah, because Wrench King and it was a weirdly worded Ratchet username. They actually are the ones that found the second way to fly glitch, the one with the Puma and Torval. Mm-hmm. If you remember that.
Where you shoot the Puma and then they fly from the Puma?
Yes. Instead of using a swing shot. But yeah, they were just in the lobby, so I was curious if you had any memories of them. But yeah, like you mentioned, Wrench King was definitely in your last glitch montage doing that flail glitch. Let's see, you mentioned one, and I think
he's asking a question here. He's asking, am I going to rejoin the community? I mean, it's always like there in my head, like, you know, obviously I didn't like play Deadlocked for as long as you guys, so it's not like I'm not like super passionate about it, but I don't. The way I view it is kind of like what we kind of mentioned before, right? Like one, I was like never like super good at the game. Like I guess I was just above average, and now like kind of talking about like just kind of using the same three weapons. Like I don't know if I'd like come in and like if I were to play like an actual game, I don't know if I'd actually have fun. That's kind of just like how I view it. Like it'd mostly just be to come on and like hang out, right? Like and then. I don't know how like the game works compared to like the original, but I don't know, like maybe just like see some glitches that I didn't like from Kirk's more modern videos that like just so he could like show me how they're done, I guess, just out of curiosity. That's like kind of like why I would go on, but like I do follow, like, you know, whenever Kirk uploads a new video, like I usually do check them out.
Absolutely. Nice. So, and that's how we've kind of like touched base just occasionally through that. It's not been much over the years.
That's actually a question I was wondering. There's like, how did you manage to find Chris? Like, he's talking about his LinkedIn, but like,
all right, yeah, I'll run through that. So pretty much, my first thing was like, okay, I remember Chris joined our little Facebook group a long time ago, and so I just queried him in the Facebook group, and I found his full name, or not his full name, but his first and last, and then I'm like, okay, that's my first lead, and then I just looked up, you know, typed his name in for any other social media, couldn't find it. Then something for LinkedIn popped up. I messaged him there and didn't hear for a few days. So then I'm like, wait a minute, he comments on my videos occasionally. So I replied to one of his comments, the last one he did, and saying, hey, you want to be in the next podcast? And he reached out to me a day later. So that's how
I kind of like scrubbed all my older social media. Like the only one I actually like actively use right now is Instagram, actually. So that's actually the best way to reach me.
Okay.
I could send that to you guys after.
Yeah, I'll have to add you on there for sure.
I rarely use my Instagram, but yeah, I mean, I'll still add you.
Sounds good.
And part two of Wrench King's question, survival. That's like one of the custom modes, right?
Yeah. So think about Call of Duty Zombies. It's
okay. Yeah. I remember you guys made a video on that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
it's actually very fun. It's something that I haven't played as much recently, but I still really enjoy playing it.
Yeah, it's been worked on so much more. I uploaded a video a long time ago when it was just very early stages. It's like a fully fleshed out game mode that's just phenomenal. I think you would really like it, and you could just get lost in it for hours. But yeah, we have like casual
and you
nights.
use all weapons.
Yes, you use all weapons. It's not like a cycle.
Nice.
But yeah, there are casual nights. It's like weekly or bi-weekly in a game, and there are some people that don't play for months that just kind of hop in occasionally and just join the casual. So you're always welcome to, come play some games, and you don't have to do the competitive cycling or anything.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it's always been in the back of my head, and like I kind of do feel bad that I ended up leaving G-Dogs hanging for so long.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe we'll get him on too, and then like
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Maybe if you get on, Z-Dog can get back on.
Absolutely. And then let's see. You mentioned earlier a player named HiPeople5. I know in one of your glitch videos, I think it's your first one where you did the acid jump, you credited him finding that glitch. Do you have any memories about HiPeople5?
Other than the fact that he was like known as like the best venture in the early days, like not really. I don't even remember. Like I know what you're talking about, but I don't even remember like why I would credit him with that. Like there's probably a good reason, but to be honest, I don't remember where that came from.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he was like known to be like one of the good players like back in the day.
Okay. Yeah, I know, like, just going through my memory, going like through the DL leaderboards in the later years, I remember seeing his name several times. Like, I never played with him, but that just told me he was a really old player.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anyone else. Yeah, so regarding G-Dogs, I know we've talked a little bit about Michael. Is there anything else you want to talk to in regards to Michael?
Mm-hmm. No, really. I mean, if Michael, you're watching, come hang out again. I guess it's like ironic for me to say that because I'm the one that kept dodging stuff. But
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, like like I said, we ended up like playing like a lot of Call of Duty like the longest time out of like because Troy and Ethan, they played with me for a bit, but G-Dogs kind of like stuck with it for a longer time, and then eventually like 2016ish, he reached out to me. He's like, oh, he's playing League, so we ended up like playing League for a bit together. I met some of his other friends. It was a good time, yeah.
That is awesome. But yeah, we'll definitely get you his contact info. And then last person I got on here, do you remember Gunner?
I remember the name, yeah, but I think like when he got like kind of big, that's when like I was on my way out because I know like he was mostly like on your side of things.
Yes.
But I do remember him, yeah, because like I think I don't remember if he participated in one of our montages, but like I know some of like his glitches made an appearance.
Yes, there was one you, him, and I found together. It was actually involved the hoverbike surf. So pretty much, we attached a Puma to the hoverbike that was going to go into the water, and it where you can't move in the water, and the hoverbike's going straight. The Puma got caught on this like rock and really just started kind of freaking out, teleporting a lot. I'm not sure if you remember that, but I think he recorded that.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, he recorded it and he gave it to you to put in Defy Logic Glitches 5. So.
Okay, so that's where that came from. Got it.
Yes, that's the origin of that story right there.
Got it.
Well, okay. Still on top of Defy Logic, just always a lot to cover. So what are your favorite Defy Logic glitches that they found, that you all found?
Oh, that's... I guess like because a lot of like collaboration stuff like kind of like it's like gray area, but I guess the first one is like the hologram one because that's kind of like the first one that kind of.
I really think that's the one that just got Defy Logic like huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like even when you guys were talking about like looking at the code and like understanding why glitches happen, like
I still don't know why. No, I have no idea why that one works.
That's like
it
a
doesn't
really
make
interesting
any
one.
sense to me.
I think it's a similar one to how Halo, how they have a one.
So Halo, they actually have at least on Halo 2. I don't know about like newer games. On Halo 2, in the very middle of the map, or like very low under the map, they actually have a very, very small version of the skybox. And what they do is they just copy that and then they put it over the whole thing. Over, obviously everything. And so there's a glitch where if there's a certain spot where if you have one of the Halo players fall down in the map and they die, you actually see their dead body in the skybox because it's just copying everything what...
It's like giant as well.
Yeah, it's just copying what that little thing is.
So what if it's maybe something
that
like
might be the
that?
reason. Maybe. I don't know.
But
Because it's just literally putting the player on a screen, like on front of your screen,
Yeah,
but you have to
and-
view it a certain way.
Yeah, like it was like only in that exact spot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now there are other versions of the hologram now where like what we did also on the Serathos, I think, which is easier to do if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
well, I don't know if you're referencing the same thing though, but I remember like we did something on Serathos like similar.
yeah. And it's like you could view it in different places as well, but it's still a hologram. But yeah, honestly, why it works, I have no idea.
it's such a weird glitch. I remember because you suicide the bike, you respawn, you get in the bike, drive around, and you can just see it if you stand at a certain location. Is that right?
And the same thing happens. You know, I
Yeah.
think you would cord pull the bike.
Yeah.
If you
at
cord pull
Torval,
the
you would
bike
cord
as
pull.
well.
At Serathos, you could use that hole in the water to do it without cord pulling.
That's right. That's right. Besides the
Yeah, you
hologram, were there
pretty
any
much do
other
it everywhere.
ones that came to mind?
So
Oh,
it's
sorry,
more
go
like
ahead.
it's more like a category of glitches. Like anything that involves like magma shooting out of something, I always thought was like kind of cool and funny.
Oh yeah, like the magma shooting puma, hover ship, etc.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like mind bending or anything, but that's another thing that's just like it's like I guess that one might be easier to explain from a coding perspective. I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever looked into that, but
I
don't
haven't
know.
looked
It
at
just
that.
looks cool.
No.
It just looks cool.
Man, y'all might just have me want to go back through the glitches and actually try and figure out why exactly it works.
That'd be very interesting. Just a little brief thing. I know on the PS3 DL there is a weird bug that was not present on PS2 where like if you hit a barrier with a hover bike, it's almost kind of random. Your hover bike will teleport outside the level and it will just never respawn again. I still don't fully understand why it did that, but I had Dan in 2016 join a game with me and like try to locate where it was. And yeah, he said it was so far outside the level that it just wouldn't register to respawn again. It was so weird.
So I might have a more answer for that now because we actually know more of the game now. Basically, the game has a Moe bounding box grid, and if anything that's outside of that just automatically gets deleted.
That's what
So
it
that's
was.
probably what happened.
That's what
It probably
is.
just flew way outside the map to where the game just automatically deleted it and
That's
never
crazy.
even
Oh my god.
responded.
That makes
That's actually like
total sense.
something I always was wondering because like if you just like fly glitch like forever,
Yeah.
like what happened? What happens?
Oh no, we did that.
You
We did
get
that before.
deleted.
That's how there was a glitch that we did where where you could walk through the pumas and the you could walk through pumas and like the vehicle pads, and that was because of that. If you fly glitch so far out, you would hit the bounding box to where when you go back into it, the vehicles would just be you could go through them.
Yeah, that specific puma on Serathos. I know later, because like I had mentioned to Troy and Ethan this a long time ago. That fake puma glitch you guys did, it's in Defy glitches 4. I just didn't know how to do it for the longest time. I'm just kind of like, how the hell do these guys make a puma fake? And I just tried it with a fly glitch one day, and I figured out how it worked. We were able to make the swing shots fake as well eventually.
Oh,
And-
really? Oh, that's so
yes.
cool.
And then we made a hoverbike pad fake, but we were never able to make like the actual hoverbike fake. We didn't have any luck with it. But I'm sure if you played around with it enough, you could probably do that.
Yeah. It's just all depends on how far you do the fly glitch out in one direction.
Right.
You just hit a bounding box, and then the game just is like, oh, these are now no longer there.
Right.
Technically.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys like watch glitches on like other games these days, but like, are you familiar with like Super Mario 64 glitches at all?
I
Oh
am.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if you know what I'm about to like reference, but like the whole like parallel universe thing.
Yes,
Dude,
yes.
that was insane.
That confuses
Yeah.
me still.
Yeah, like when I saw that video, like I was kind of just like I thought like, oh, is there something similar on Deadlock? But I guess not.
No, not really. Like, I mean, that might be the closest thing is we're having vehicles being like fake vehicles. But other than that, that's no. Like, I don't know even how the different parallel universes works, man. I even watched the video on how he explained it. I'm like, this is still too confusing.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite all-time videos on YouTube. Like it's
such a
like
good video.
Yeah.
That is insane. I've never even looked this up, so I just noted it down to look up after this.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely look it up. You will find it really interesting.
Yeah, it's great. Like Super Mario 64, like it's like, you know, when I was like saying, like, you know, like how in depth we went into glitching, like Super Mario 64 is like one of the few games that for sure 100% surpass anything we've done. Like these guys are psychopaths. Like there's some stuff that's going on. Like, you know about the whole bit flip thing, like that. Like I think they determined that like it's most likely not, but like
yeah, because that was actually a recent thing. Like at least I watched a video on it maybe a month or two ago about like the bit flip, and they were like, "Oh, it's because of like a solar flare or something."
Like
that.
but the likelihood of that is like, yeah, no.
I was like,
yeah, I've not heard of this. You guys got me curious now. That's awesome.
There's so many like glitches for Super Mario 64.
Oh man.
It's so interesting.
And it's one of those things.
One of my favorites, though, is how they managed to do like 0 A presses.
Yeah.
So
like,
stupid.
Can you beat the game without pressing A at all?
Turns out you can.
They have done it. I think it was a recent.
They just recently did it. Yes.
Did it with 0.
So stupid. See, that's the amount of levels I just don't want to take into when it comes to just trying to figure out something.
It makes me think about the same thing of there's videos of a dude doing it like Ratchet and Clank without jumping.
Yeah, that's true.
He's beaten, I think, each of them without jumping.
He's beaten 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if he ever did Deadlocked or not.
I never saw that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's
I just can't see being DL without jumping. That's wild to me. I could be wrong.
I mean, you could do it with on the other ones just because you could always like clip up using other objects and such.
Actually, yeah, I don't think he did do Deadlocked. He did 1, 2, and 3. I never think he did do Deadlocked.
All right.
Or was it trying to beat it without Clink? I don't know.
Oh, he did. No, he did that too.
He did that.
He did it with like without any gliding or anything like that. Yeah, without using Clink any.
So all right, I'm gonna run down 2 of Chris's questions that he asked for us.
Yep.
And I'll start out with Ethan for this one. So, what are your thoughts on games and DL using the non-meta weapons?
Meta weapons, as in like,
I'm sorry,
the cycle weapons.
Meta, like
cycling.
Yeah, not
like
cycling.
Not cycling. Oh, I don't know. Only because I enjoy them from time to time, but some weapons just kind of, I don't know, they're not fun to use.
Mm-hmm.
Dual Vipers?
The flail is fantastic. Dual Vipers actually can be fun depending on what it is. But yeah, if you have like other weapons on, Dual Vipers are just complete waste.
Yeah, really. I was gonna say I'm always up for casual games that have non-meta weapons, but yeah, I personally like the Arbiter and Flail. Those are nice weapons. Yeah. I know, like Arbiter is kind of like a brainless weapon. You just kind of hold and fire.
Yeah.
But the mine launcher's okay, but I think the V2s can be a little OP.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the mine launcher can be fun. But yeah, it's
like one thing you can't do is like you can't play with just hollow shields and vipers. That's just kind of like you're just gonna be reaching everything then.
I was just gonna say, and I honestly don't care that much for the hollow shield launcher and vipers. I mean, I can see like viper only games occasionally, but they're not really.
Hollows are only good with wrench games.
Actually, hollow and wrench games are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I used to play like a lot of hollow shield only also.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I think I tried for like to get hollow shield kills, but I don't remember if I ever like made it on the board.
Yeah, that was a tough one for sure. You'd have to actually stat sheet, I think, to really have a decent shot there. How about you, Troy, on that question?
It depends on like I will have to say when it comes to the other weapons. Yeah, the hollow shields are definitely kind of low down there. The mines annoy me, especially when they get to V2, just because you just can't get away from them. Like.
Right, and they do so much damage.
They're they're not balanced enough, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
But then Vipers are good if you're just doing like a Viper only game, especially when you get like the V2 Vipers. Those are just amazing.
Oh yeah. Concur. And And the second question I'll go ahead and go over. So I love this one. This one really had me thinking. What changes would you make to the game currently to improve it? And I'll start off because I have a little bit of a list.
Dan is starting to rub his hands right now once he hears all your stuff.
Yeah, we got Dan sweating. So if I could, of course, fix every lag issue, every hit registration issue for competitive games. We have bots currently in the game. It's come a long way. We actually have bots in the game. They can't play any real games though. I would have the bots, next level, be able to play actual competitive games. I would add more skins to the game. Badger here actually added some in to a custom map, but it was just too buggy. They would have to really, I think, it's a whole nother beast to tackle. So that's kind of out of the question at this point. And add more team color options. I always wanted to, be like a black renegade or something like that. I know this is not realistic, but I would raise the cap on players allowed in games. Maybe start off with like 20, and I know it'd be chaotic, but I've always, kind of had the thought of like, what would a game be like with more than 10 people in it?
What would Belgium be like with 25 people?
Jesus Christ. I don't even know. And then this is a suggestion I put recently, and I will probably actually tackle it. It's add a custom map with a beach setting. I feel like we were missing a beach map. That'd be really cool to have in the game.
Oh, I know the PS3 had one.
I know, that's right. The Great Deluku Tree.
Exactly.
Yes. It'd be cool to bring that back, but I just feel like the competitive scene would not be on that map.
No.
And then Badger just said he actually has some ideas for a beach map, so that's encouraging to see. But yeah, since Dan is dropping a custom map editor that we can actually make our own maps in sometime in the future, I'm going to take a crack at it. I would add a hoverbike racing game mode. We actually had a track set up in the very early days of the revival. And I remember, Chris, you actually, this is funny, you had a video of a hoverbike race. Do you remember that video?
I don't remember the video, but I remember I used to actually do them.
Yeah, it's like we would get people in games
lobbies.
and you do some hoverbike races around Sarathos. And I actually took up because I think you were the first one to put a video out on it, and I kind of took the tradition and did it myself on the PS3 days with a few people. And then we actually, like I mentioned, had a hoverbike track in the early days of the revival, but it got scrapped due to other priorities, but it might make a comeback eventually.
Did you forget about the one that Connor and I made back on the PS2?
Oh, that's right. You guys made that. You two could play. And I remember Connor, I think, uploaded a video of it where you guys were racing with the bikes, the Pumas, but went all the way around Sarathos. That video is still out there, isn't it?
Yep, it should be.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll have to revisit that.
Yep, I think it was on Connor's channel. I can't remember.
I think it was. And then two more things. I would add every feature to the DZO client that's currently missing from DL itself. That's just a long work in progress thing that Dan's working on. There are some features for example, if you're playing Conquest or Search and Destroy, you can't see other people's hacker streaks in the client just yet. Just having all those.
The smaller things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I would do is add custom music playlist for each player that wanted to have their own little playlist that people could tune into if they were playing the game.
Or to choose their own, would it be their own full custom music, or would it be just from the game? Okay.
Full custom music, Got
it.
Yep. So Troy, how about you for that question?
What to improve? That's hard to say. Only because honestly, Dan is doing a lot of improvements when it comes to even just lag stuff. He's been tackling a ton of different ones, especially with the B6 lately. That B6 stuff is actually getting pretty spot on when it comes to it. Even apparently doing more damage than what it probably should, I guess, in some cases.
That's debatable. I'm sure Connor and Rich King could have an argument over that.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's not really too much else. Only because I'll be honest, whenever it comes to new features that he adds, I'm like, oh, that's a great one. I'm gonna steal it and take it to UAA. So it's not, I don't really come up with the features he does. So I'm just whatever.
Yeah, and
I don't really have many
Dan
improvements.
has really added so many cool things I never would have thought even to think about. And then Connor here is custom map king. He's added some really incredible things too. How about you, Ethan?
I really don't have anything to say just because it's been so long since I've even touched it. I don't even know what's all in there now.
You'll play. You'll be like, there needs to be killing floor zombies in there.
That'd be fun.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool if you could do like something like that, like a horde type mode where they just like get a bunch of random shit coming after you all the time.
You mean survival?
Is that? Well, yes. Actually, duh. You're right. It's survival, duh. But I enjoyed the original survival over what they have now.
Oh, interesting. I liked it too,
I did.
but yeah, I do like the new one better. Just from my
I enjoyed the original over what they have now, only because like I don't know, it was more simple, and it was just there wasn't like all these walls that you had to like go and take down, or
it wasn't RNG based. It was mainly it was just yeah, it was just you shoot and be done.
Yeah, you just had to shoot and survive. There wasn't much more to it.
So a classic survival mode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we've answered 2 of those questions, so we'll get back to Chris. Let's see. All right, so what are the favorite glitches that you've found? Because I know we mentioned favorite glitches Defy Logic found. How about yourself? What's the favorite glitch that you found?
It might be like kind of just super random. Like it's not like anything special or not, but I guess like on one of the first, might not even be the first night that like I was playing with Starkiller. Like I spent a lot of time trying to get on like the other Dwarfle building. And like the thing is like the way we found like way easier ways to do it after, but like the way I was like doing it first was like super complicated. And the thing is like I don't even know if I was the first person to get on there but the thing is like as someone that played for a long time and like glitched frequently, like I never saw anyone else get on there. But I don't know, I felt like I don't know, I was like kind of proud of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Going back to the history, I feel like I saw that F-116 Charger. He had the YouTube channel Ratchet Deadlocked fan. He had uploaded that glitch a long time ago. I think that's where I first saw it, but I don't know really who found it first. But I always assumed he did. But yeah, it's like I remember you also were the first to get the Hoverbike up there too. That was crazy.
And then another one, like I think, like you mentioned it in like things that you think were big, but like I don't know, I never really saw it as that big of a deal. But I guess like I know some people did, but like the walk the walls on Catacomb, because that one also took a lot of effort. Like I guess the ones that like were favorite to me are the ones that like kind of took a lot of effort, I guess.
Yeah.
And then when we finally got it on camera, we're like, oh okay, we're good.
Yeah. Never need to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because yeah, it's like you could walk through walls in the back there, but originally we didn't know, how to get back up outside the level, and you used the teleport Puma glitch to get out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was it.
Okay. And I'll just tell you, later on, I found a way how to actually get out from behind, get back to the surface level and to the main level without needing another person. So I got
nice.
Yeah, build up on that glitch a little bit to make it a little better. So, let's see. And was there anything else, or is that about it?
Yeah, I can't really think of much because, like I said before, I don't like a lot of the really cool big stuff. Like I feel like we're found by other people. So for me, it was just more like quantity. Yeah, I can't really think of another one.
It's one of those things where like. To me, I look back on stuff and I'm like, no, that wasn't. I mean, that was fun to find, but like, it wasn't that big. And then I'm like, wait, the hologram that actually was a very big glitch. And I'm just like, it was just a glitch, but it got super big.
So, one of my favorites I just keep thinking about through this video or through this podcast is the infinite cap glitch for infinite flags.
The very last one that was posted on
I only think of that only because all the comments of it or this isn't whatever game. This isn't Battlefield.
Yes.
Yeah, around that time, Battlefield came out with the same
With the
type of
infinite
glitch.
cap
So
glitch.
they would search like infinite cap glitch or whatever, and the Deadlocked video would come up.
Yep.
It was
So there's so many
downvoted into
comments.
oblivion because of that.
It was. Yep.
I
Yeah.
think I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I do.
And that was just another. That was just another cord pulling type glitch too. I think it was like 3 of us all cord pulling at different times in the CTF game before the game actually started. I should recall, because I remember doing that. We were just testing all different types of times when we could cord pull before the game starts.
Wow. I remember I did it a way. I'm not sure this is how. I guess it's a different way than y'all did it. But when we were talking about going invisible in lobbies, so if you got the flag over, or an opposing team's flag over, like your own base, and you stood over it, on some people's screens it would just capture over and over and over, and then it would hit actually to that spot where your cap limit's 10, and it would just keep going over it. That's one way I did it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mine involved cord pulling.
Okay. I never knew that, honestly. That's cool.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, Chris. So how many hours did you put into DL altogether? Like glitching, being in lobbies, playing games, just thinking about glitches to find during that period.
Honestly, I don't even know, because when I did play, even before the Defy Logic days, when I did play, I played every day and for multiple hours too.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was kind of I'd play for a couple months and then stop.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I can't even give you a number. I have no idea. A lot for sure. In that small time span.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is hard to come across, and just you had to really ponder and think about that, and even an answer probably wouldn't be fully accurate. But yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah, because some days I think when Defy Logic formed, it was during the summer too. Because I remember when I mentioned that I was up all night, my dad was mad. I was like, "There's nothing to do. There's no reason to be." But some of those days, we would just play straight. I'd wake up and then we would just play again, and it's and then some days, it would just be on for 1 hour or something.
Yep.
It's impossible, but it was a lot. It was enough that even though I haven't played since 16 years ago, I don't know. We're just keep naming random double-digit years, but I'm willing to come back and here talk about it. A long time later. That's how much I played.
That's right. Yeah, I can totally relate to the all-nighters and just going right back to it. I know when I work on some glitch montages, that was my motto right there. Just keep on at it, and you just get lost with time. Let's see. All right, and this is all right if you don't know the answer to this. What are some glitches you believe you were the first one to find / come across that you never recorded and put on YouTube, if any?
I mean, the one that actually I don't even remember if I ever had to put it on, but getting on the second Torvald building, that's the one I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, it's just I never saw it, and then we spent a lot of time. I don't even remember if I recorded it or not. I know I recorded the Hoverbike version after, but I think that's the only one. Because yeah, I'm not sure. Because back in the day, like I said, there was just so many people doing small glitch lobbies. That, it's hard to know whoever actually found anything back in the early days.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only one that one just automatically brings you up to the one that we recorded 2 years ago, I think it was, maybe 3 years ago, of the multiple clan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We finally there was finally an official video of us doing it. Basically there was I don't know if you remember this InfiniteDragon, Chris, sorry. There's a glitch where you're able to get multiple clans into clan lobby. You can have more than just 2 clans in a clan lobby.
I vaguely remember it. I remember people talking about it.
Yep, and I remember because I was the one who found that, and it was one of those things where I've known how to do it for this longest time, and I just never recorded it. And then finally, up until 2-3 years ago, Kirk, Ethan, and I finally got it, and we just recorded it finally.
Nice.
Yep, had to get that one on the books for sure. It's like, hey,
Yep.
this is possible.
It's been a thing for
Yeah,
this
that was
long.
an old glitch too, and yeah, we
Mhm.
just finally got around to doing it.
Yeah, and I never even knew about it. I was just like, Troy brought it up one day. I'm like, huh?
What? Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, you mentioned.
That's actually,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that glitch is how I did a lot of the stat cheating back in the day.
Oh.
I never knew that. Wow. Oh yeah, you did a lot of stat cheating.
I sure
you
did.
you had
Yeah.
you had a stat sheet, your account stat sheet like 3 times.
3 times because
What?
I froze it.
Oh
I
my
froze
gosh.
it twice.
He froze it twice. And one time, no, 4 times, because he froze it twice. And
Oh,
then
that's
one
right.
time, someone might have had the password. So you're like, I'm going to delete this before anyone gets it.
Yep.
Chris, do you remember back in the day freezing accounts at 10K? Do you ever remember that process?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never did it myself, but I remember it.
Yeah, I know Ethan and Troy are way more involved in the stat sheet community, and they just probably witnessed that a lot, but they have,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, tons of
Yeah.
stories to tell about that sometime.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I never did have a 10K account though. I never made one.
I made one that
You
you
always
always
had
through
one.
hacks eventually, so.
Right, you did.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I had the blood, sweat, and tears that you guys had.
Oh, I'm good.
Honestly,
Oh, I
even
couldn't tell
this,
you how
though-
many. I couldn't tell you how many accounts I've got up to 10K. Honestly,
oh yeah, you did a ton of
I did a
accounts.
ton. I still remember one story though. This one story always just cracks me up, and it makes me. It's so. Vernon King Geo. He had the Jack account. He let someone have it, and then the guy was like, "I'm just gonna let it." And the guy, he just let him have a password. Like he didn't know the caps or anything. So he statched it all the way up to 10K and froze it. And then literally like an hour later, Geo just deletes the account.
Such an asshole. Oh my
I'm
god.
like, bro, all of that work for nothing.
I would be so mad. I think I remember you and Connor talking about this in that one podcast.
Yeah.
God.
Like, man, that is so
I would be
mean.
so mad. And then Chris, I know you touched. I'm kind of going a little back in time. You touched on. You started glitching pretty much at the very when the game came out. Do you remember like? I think you said you got shown like catacrom glitches like behind the fence. What were some of the first glitches you did?
Yeah, so that was like probably one of the first ones. I guess getting behind like to the starting area of the map, in the campaign area, getting behind the other fence, like not the one with the stadium, like the one beside that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much by like doing the morphing mod method.
Ah.
And then similar thing on Serathos, like getting on the third island by standing on the rocks and then getting morphed. Then your animal can walk through it. Similar thing to that. They also do the walk through walls glitch like very early on. So there's like they showed me like I don't know if there was a third way, but yeah, like those 2 ways of getting to the third island by doing walk through walls and morphing mod.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
also
that-
yeah, go ahead.
That just reminded me that was probably the first way over to the third island was the morph mod glitch.
It was, yeah.
I just remember, like, yeah, that makes, yeah. God.
You stood on a certain rock, got morphed, and then you were able to walk over.
Mm-hmm.
That makes total
Yeah.
sense.
And then climbing up on the buildings by like
Walking
kind of like
backwards.
scaling. Yeah,
Backwards.
walking backwards. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That was like also like one of the original ones.
Yep.
Do you remember which? Like I know there was like 2 rocks in Meraxis you could do that. Which building were you thinking of?
Oh no, this was Serathos on
Oh,
Serathos.
Serath- oh, the towers. That's right.
Yeah, the
Yes.
towers. Yeah.
Yeah. I assume those are very early finds.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you remember when at Catacrom, like, so you used the morphing mod? Do you remember when you first, like, go to the fence that's where the blue base capture the flag is? It's the one where that in campaign Landstalker's waiting for you. When did you first use the swing shot, get on that rock, and charge me back there? Do you remember when that was?
It wasn't like at the start, but I can't give you an exact time frame. It's also like I said, I don't know who like found it, but probably like mid 2006 maybe.
Okay, that sounds about right. Because I know there's some videos still on YouTube around mid 2006 where that glitch is being performed. So I assume that's around when it was found, but I never knew. Let's see. And then after Catacrom, was it Meraxis, Torval?
Yeah, most likely one of those two.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. So we're going to get to some specific glitches that you found that we've gone over somewhat for some of them, but do you remember the glitch Animal and Player using Conquest?
Yeah, that's one where like they're like attached, right?
Yes. Yeah. Do you know
I
the origin?
don't know I don't remember the process, but like I do remember like playing around with it. No, I wasn't able to like remember exactly like the story behind that one.
Okay. Funny thing, that just reminded me, when you guys were actually recording for Defy Glitches 5, that specific glitch, I remember I joined your lobby. That I was not in Defy just yet, but I just remember going like, "Hey, can I see what you're doing?" And you're like, "No, get out." And so I was like, I remember I dropped a little frowny face and left. But that just, I think y'all were recording Animal and Player because it was a conquest with 500 bolts, and I think that's the only glitch in the 4th Defy Glitches video that you guys had that setting. So, but I thought it was hilarious.
My goodness.
Nice.
And then we touched on the no HUD glitch to the disk ejection. How did you and Troy, or just you, come across that?
Yeah, I don't even remember. I guess probably just being stupid. Seeing what would happen if we take our disc.
Okay, like thinking about it, like I think it came from like the idea of like cartridge removal from like N64 stuff,
or like cartridge tilting or something.
Yeah. I that's probably where I got the idea from. And then I was just like, hey, let's just try like a bunch of removing the disc at various points in the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is. I've tested this ejection in several scenarios, but yeah, it's so risky because you're gonna freeze a lot. So
yep.
And then we did touch on walk through walls and Catacrom. How did the idea come to you to, I guess, use the Puma to teleport over? It just kind of, well, you can elaborate.
Yeah. So similar to like Meraxis, right? Like anyone that's like kind of been out of the map, and if you like think about it, it's like, oh, we found this small ledge where you can do walk through walls. Meraxis is like a lot simpler, right? Because you can just like get back to the main island. But for some reason, like I don't know, I feel like a lot of people in the early days didn't really think about doing that outside the map, then coming back.
No.
That's kind of why like that was the thing. But then for Catacrom, it was like people didn't know how to get back. And then when the Puma teleporting thing was like found, I was like, wait a minute, like I don't know, I just like quickly made the connection, and then I was able to like, I forgot who helped me with that, but I just remember like I said, like I needed someone to help me with that because I think the person had to disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And it just took like so long for. So I was trying to think, like I don't even know why it took so long, but it just took so long, and yeah. But like the connection to use that to like go back, it just like came quickly. I'm not sure, just because like just the way we think about like finding glitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was that guy Middlefinger who helped you out with that because he was in the video with you. But yeah, that's just crazy that you thought of that. I mean, like you said, it makes perfect sense, but it's just one of those things you don't think about immediately, or at least I didn't. So I was just like, I remember I was always blown away by that. And then you touched on, walk through walls of Meraxis. How in the world did you, like, because, behind Meraxis, it's a lot of fall through back there. And there's just a little part that has some water. I'm just amazed that you were able to find the water and do that glitch.
Oh yeah, so like I guess like it's still used, but like you use like napalm to like kind of like navigate your way through there.
Yes.
And then like eventually like I just found, oh, this one's like really close to the water. And then I don't know, like I guess
you just tried it.
Yeah, just tried it.
I mean, Kirk, it's like how you when you did the testing facility thing at Ghost Station.
Yes. Yeah.
How long did you take to like be like, oh, this is where it should be in multiplayer?
Yes. Yeah. That took the whole day. Yeah. Chris, you had mentioned earlier about the weapon facility and Ghost Station. So yeah, I'll just tell you real quick how I found that. It's just like the floating platforms in Dark Cathedral that people always fly glitch to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I made the connection pretty early on. It's like, okay, these are the platforms from campaign when you fight Shell Shock. And I was just like, are there any other places that this could, be a possibility at? And I just remembered that there's a little interior mission at Ghost Station towards the end. And so I had moon jump, and I got outside the interior, and I shot around, and I realized that the death point was very low compared to like the actual Ghost Station level. And I got down to the near the death barrier level in campaign and started firing around. And there are these pillars in campaign that explode, and the pillars were just down there. They exploded, and I'm like, okay, so this is where Ghost Station is relative to this. I wonder what happens if I go in the multiplayer map and fly up to the location of where this is. So I had to time a lot of things, and eventually, I got there and I just saw weapons and health crates around there. It's crazy.
What was your reaction to that? Like,
I was my mind was blown. I was texting all my buddies about it, glitch buddies. Like, I was just like, you will not believe what I found. Like, I'm gonna post it on YouTube, and everyone just saw it and like, what the heck? Like, how is this even here?
So, right, it's just a leftover thing from single player.
Yes, and I think Connor made the most sense of it. He was like, I think they were going to make the interior a multiplayer map at one point, but they scrapped it. And the reason he thinks that, and it makes sense, is because the weapons are just so perfectly placed where the level, I guess, like if you were to have a multiplayer map of it, it would just make sense where the weapons were placed, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yep. Let's see, and then getting to the next glitch. So this is. We brought it up. The classic glitch I always think of with you is the hoverbike on the third island. How did that go?
Right. Okay. So originally, for the longest time, everyone knew that you could get through the Puma around that same rock, right?
Yes.
So I was just thinking okay, I don't remember exactly if there was something beforehand, but I knew that the hoverbike could jump pretty high if you get the right angle.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just thought okay, let's just try it and see. And then I don't know. Eventually, I just got it. It wasn't nothing revolutionary.
Yeah, you just kept trying.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you, a lot of people that glitched back in the day, just that was the go-to glitch kind of at Serathos.
Yes.
It's just kind of
it still is.
It still is. Yeah, it's kind of people don't want to Puma surf back there. They don't want to have another teammate to fly glitch them over there, and it's just the fact that you still have your hover bike and then you can use it to get on the Leviathan's lair. Just really, really cool glitch. But I was always that was a good find. And then I'm gonna try to explain this one because I think it's in your first or second Defy Logic glitch montage. You got on a very high peak in Meraxis that you had to walk up the wall and then wrench climb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you found that because I don't remember anyone else ever doing it. It's I remember getting past the first barrier but never wrench climbing to the top of that peak. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, okay, so I guess that's another one where it seems simple enough that maybe somebody found it before, but I've never seen anyone else do it.
Right.
It's just for some reason, maybe to that time standards, I don't know how good people are at wrench climbing now, but for some reason that wall was really hard to wrench climb.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just it's possible, but it's really hard. So I just kept trying it until I got up there, and I was like, oh, okay, there we go.
Are you talking about the one at Blue Base?
Yes.
On the left side. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's still a hard wrench climb. It's
still hard.
3 or 4, but yeah, it's that angle that you got to wrench climb. It's if you fuck up, you're gonna die essentially.
Yep.
So,
you can't save yourself.
Yep. And I'll just tell this to Chris. So we've actually probably since 2008. You may have played this eventually, but we kind of took up glitching in a little player-made game mode called hide and seek. We allow glitches in hide and seek games, and it's really kind of how glitching is still somewhat relevant. We don't do it that often anymore, but it's like where you can go, hey, I can get up here without like vehicles, etc. And so, can you get me, essentially? But I've done that in a hide and seek game before. It's tough.
Yep.
And it's risky because we have survival on, so.
Oh, if you die, you're dead.
Yeah.
Let's see. And this is one I actually thought of yesterday. It's actually one of the first videos that ClanDefyLogic put up, and I think it was DWD and Troy, or Ethan and Troy that made this video. Do you remember in Torval, you're inside the little tunnel area. You can like get on top of the very top of the tunnel. Do you know what I'm talking about?
With like a Puma? I mean, with the hoverbike one?
Yeah, the
or
hoverbike way, but there's also other
Yep.
ways.
Yep.
It's like, I think he credited you with finding that, so do you want to run through that? Do you remember that glitch?
You're talking about like the bluish tunnel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
get on
Like
top of
blue-
the light, basically, with the hoverbike.
Yeah, I can drop a screenshot.
Okay, yeah. Now I do remember what you're talking about. But yeah, I actually don't even remember.
Yeah. So
much.
I actually remember that because I was the one that ended up doing that glitch and everything. I remember doing the glitch, and I remember you showing me it just because I don't know. It wasn't a very hard glitch to do at all either, but I just remember
Which is
one day
funny,
you showed me, hey, it's like,
because-
hey, look at this. I was like, oh, that's cool, and then did it real quick.
That's still one glitch I just have trouble doing. I can't do that glitch. I always do it the way without the hoverbike still. Just
Yeah,
because
without the
it's more
hoverbike,
fun.
it's a lot easier, in my opinion. But yeah, the
Um,
hoverbike, I could see it being more challenging.
That does actually remind me of another glitch that I remember Chris, you, and Ethan and I were in, I think. It was again at Torval. You know how before at Red Base, I think it is, before the tunnel, when you're looking inside of it and you have the water on your right? You have that one rock you could charge against, and to get behind the building.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I remember us trying to figure out how to get that perfect timing so we could always do it. And that was just honestly, I still enjoy doing it that way. Like actually just charge booting from the rock. Even though there's an easier way to do it, I still just enjoy doing it that way because you barely make it.
Yeah.
Give yourself a little personal challenge there.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I do the same thing whenever I try to go that way, and I always end up dying or something. But I'm like, it's just fun to try it.
And you're talking about the
And
rock
I remember
by the hoverbikes,
many
right?
hours. What's that?
You're talking about the rock by the hoverbikes that you charge with
Nope.
off the magnet wall.
The
Opposite side.
on the opposite side of the map. There's you know how you can get underneath kind of the level on that right side of the map, I guess you would say, if I'm looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually charge boot against a slanted rock and go behind it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I'm-
a lot easier way to do it, but
Yeah, there's a whole lot easier way. But it was one of those things I remember us trying forever just to do, and we finally were able to do it one night.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I know the area you're talking about. I'll follow up with you on that.
It's where
after.
most people do walk through walls usually, I think, on that
Okay.
area.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'll show it to you. sometime.
Yes. I know what you're talking about now. Okay,
Okay.
we're all good.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go to a question that Chris had for us. So what got you into glitching in general? I'll start with you, Ethan.
it actually started with Halo.
This will be the same answer for you.
Yeah,
basically.
Troy and I were playing Halo. It was we were watching those super bounce videos. You go jump on a certain area, or you crouch somewhere, jump on a certain area, you go flying up in the air. And we started doing that. I made videos on that, and then Deadlocked came around. We started playing that, and just
There
like
were
this-
a lot of the glitches from that I did on Deadlocked. I actually tried to replicate from Halo as well, especially like some of the specific host glitches or cord pulling glitches and such. Later on, once we did cord pulling, because there were some glitches where if you were host in Halo, like there were some items in the map that you could knock over, and that when the host left, the map would basically reset. So even though the game didn't end or anything like that, the stuff that was falling over and such would just reset back to its default position. And there were just many glitches you could do with it, like make a warthog float.
Nice.
And I took inspiration from basically Halo when it came to doing glitches because of that.
Yeah, so for me, in 2004 to 2007, I did some glitching on a game called Tony Hawk's Underground.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I love playing that game with a childhood friend of mine, and it's like I won't call them glitches. It's like we had moon jump enabled, but you were still glitching outside the map and whatnot, and so that game kind of drew out my curiosity with that, and then in the early spring of 2007, same friend and I started looking at glitch videos on Tony Hawk, and then I just kind of thought like, hey, what about Ratchet Deadlocked? Because we got it on day of release, but we had never looked up any glitches. And then I remember seeing, so many glitch videos online. I was really surprised, and there was one in particular that showed this. This had a lot of views too. We're talking like 15 to 20,000 views. It was a glitch video. The first one was of this guy getting on top of that Miraxis hill with the hoverbike. You guys remember that?
Yes.
The player's name or the YouTube username was, I can't remember what it was, but it had Nova in it. And I think the video was released in either late 2006 or early 2007.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that just blew me away and whatnot. So that's why I got an online adapter for my fat PS2 and hopped on.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just love the fact that you beat that glitch up with you finding a way how to get up there without a vehicle.
Which glitch?
The getting on that hill.
Oh yeah,
without a vehicle. That was dude. Like when you showed me that, I was like, all right, I'm doing this now forever.
You know what's crazy? So actually, F-116 Charger found another way to get up there. Before I ever found the first way my way to get up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's actually like 4 ways to get up there without.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you can probably go around like from one side of the map all the way to the other side too.
Yeah, Well, I was thinking that's 5 in my mind because that is true. You can do that. But yeah, like the little rock at the Miraxis Stadium, you could like walk up and get on top of that little ledge and charge boot to the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You could use that same little ledge and actually make it to that little giant tube.
The other side. Yes, that's right.
You had to like get your angle right and everything. But that's the way that he showed me.
I remember Charger showing that. That's right.
But yeah, then I found one that was a very long way, and then eventually a very, very quick way to get it, which we all.
The very, very quick way is just amazing.
Yes. Let's see.
It makes hide and seek so much easier.
It does. I would hate to. Go all the way around the level to get up there. And then Chris had one other question for us. He said, "Have your glitching skills ever become useful outside of Deadlocked?" And I'll go first. This one.
Yes, you go first because you definitely win this one.
Yeah. I'm going to answer and say yes, they have. My current occupation since 2017 is mainly software testing, and so I think I was pretty much born to break stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. How about Troy and Ethan? How about you?
Glitching wise, I mean, I feel like kind of yes and no, only because glitching wise kind of brought me into the montage coding scene. Because I always liked breaking stuff anyway, and I always enjoyed coding. Because even when I was playing Ratchet Deadlocked, I was learning how to do JavaScript and such back in 2006 and all that stuff. And so whenever we found out how to do mods and hacks online, that just led to me learning to read actual PS2 code, which is assembly, and then I just kind of kept on coding from there. So I feel like glitching kind of led towards me to learning how to code more, just to figure stuff how things work.
That's interesting. I like that. How about you, Ethan?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No,
honestly, no. It's just a fun thing for me to do, but it didn't really do anything for me like in my actual
It
life.
basically stopped at Deadlocked. Like after Deadlocked glitching, you're like, no, nothing else really needs to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And Connor said +1 to breaking stuff. Okay, and then we're gonna let's see. We're getting close to the end here, almost. So let's see. Chris, I dropped a list of glitches. They're classic glitches. I don't know if you have it pulled up in front of you, but it says, "Do you know or remember who was the first to find any of the following glitches?" And I can call them out if you want me to.
Yeah, I do have the list here. So yeah, like I said, a lot of them they kind of just existed at the beginning, and I don't have an answer for some of them.
Okay.
I guess. Well, okay. Let's go down the list from the top. I guess. Well, okay. So some of these are kind of related to like fly glitch.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so this one, you know, when you're young, you're gonna like, you know, embellish things or just like kind of lie about what. So this JJ guy that I mentioned before.
Uh-huh.
I come back from like you know, like a month or 2 month break, and he's just like, yo, I found this crazy glitch, and then he claims he found the fly glitch. I don't know if this is true or not, but he's the one that tells me he found the fly glitch. So
what was his full name? JJ
1 2 3 4 5.
Okay.
And I cannot confirm, but I log in after a small break, and like he's going wild, and he also claims he found the unkickable glitch too. So yeah, I don't know. I you know, he was a good friend. I don't think he was like a big liar or anything, but I don't know.
Right.
Okay, a big one here. This one it's probably like goes like under your guys' radars, like big glitch, but flying it out of Valix. That was like a really big one at the time. So I mentioned before, like I used to hang out on like the Insomniac forums, and some guy just like randomly posted, like he made a thread, and he's like, "Has anyone been here before?" And then he like just posts a screenshot of him like multiplayer like out of Alex, and like people are like minds are blown.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are those forums still up?
No,
Oh.
there you have to go on. You have to go onto Wayback Machine to see it and even try to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember his username, but he also posted 2 more. Okay, let me see if they're like listed here. Like it was like behind one of the Torval walls.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure. Like I guess what we prefer is the third building, but like to the left of it if you're facing it.
Yes.
So not behind the Puma, like
The other side. Yeah.
Yeah. He was there too. I guess you technically could get there with the walk the walls, but I think he mentioned that he didn't get there with the walk the walls. And then like this one, it was like a really weird screenshot, but he like posted him like really outside of mining facility. Like realistically, now that like we know where you could go there, like it's like shit. But he just posted like a screenshot of his map or like his teammates' map or like someone else's map that just shows he's like outside of the map. But yeah, the Valix fly out of bounds down was like the big one out of the 3. And I just remember, like, yeah, everyone was going crazy over that, and I actually found it on my own, like the day after, because like
nice.
I just like okay, like I don't know, I just came up with a few ideas of like how to do it, and I guess I got lucky and managed to clip out.
Was that with the hover ship, or was that just a fly glitch?
The hover ship. At the time, fly glitch wasn't out yet.
I gotcha.
Some of the other like staple ones, like Puma Surfing, Landstalker, V10, they were like very early. Actually, Landstalker wasn't that early. Boomer Surfing, I remember, was pretty early. I don't know who found that. V10
I'm super
was also
curious about. Yeah, I'm super curious about V10, man. Like that one, like.
Yeah, I don't have a name for that one, but that one was also like very very early too. Torval Secret Platforms, that one, like, yeah, a lot of those were like super early. I don't have like names for any of these.
Okay. Let's see. So, and was that like late 05 or early 06? Do you remember?
Yeah, about that time. Like it kind of just like all mends together for me.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go through just that list real quick, because I know you've probably mentioned the ones you kind of remember or kind of know. Yeah, you mentioned the fly glitch. Like those came before the fly glitch. Do you remember when the fly glitch kind of came around the scene?
maybe like mid 2006,
Okay,
maybe early. Like I said, I came back from a break, and then that's when I heard about it.
gotcha.
So it would be sometime earlier than when like I found out about it.
Let's see. And you said probably Landstalker Fly not too far behind the flag glitch. Is that right?
Yeah, like that one was relatively early too, but like not like at the start.
Gotcha. What about Spawn Where You Die?
That one I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't even remember who showed me that one.
I just randomly remember because I remember
But-
the first time I saw this is talking about the Torval Ruins secret platforms. The first time I saw them being gotten on was I think through y'all's videos.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I didn't know if you guys actually found those or if that was just kind of like no one's ever explained this, so I wanted to put it up.
Yeah, it might have been. Honestly, I don't know. Like,
I
it
think
might have
it was
been us
one-
found it, but or maybe just never explained.
No, I remember that someone showed me how to do that. I don't remember who, but yeah, I remember very specifically someone showed me how to do those ones.
Okay.
Those ones are classics for sure. Like those ones existed for a long time.
I believe it. Yeah, they are classics. I've always wondered. Well, I know there's one swing shot really close to this. So those floating platforms of Dark Cathedral we talked about earlier. It's like I'm always kind of like, how did someone come across this? But to think that the swing shot was like basically right under them, it must have not been too hard to spot. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'd imagine like anything that like as soon as the flag glitch was found, people just did it on every map that they could.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that's how like
I mean, you gotta realize that there are also some people who were definitely playing UAA and Deadlocked, and they're like in UAA you already had walk through walls.
Right.
That was already a well-known glitch in UAA, probably before Deadlock was already out. So they probably just found that you could do it the same exact way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
And these are three I didn't list, but I think it's actually I saw these for the first time ever in Defy Logic glitch videos. But do you remember the wrench hover, the fast fell, and the fast charge boot glitch when holding triangle down?
Yeah.
I think you posted a video of those. You may have been the first one to have them up, but I assume they were probably like 2006 finds or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Like those were definitely not by me, but yeah, I don't remember how they came up to be.
Okay.
I think I remember the people involved in it. Like I can't tell you their names, but I just remember like the scenarios involved.
Mhm.
Like it was kind of like a lot of the triangle stuff was like kind of found together. I mean, I guess
just
they're all like
holding
they're all the
triangle,
same.
pressing
Yeah.
random buttons, basically.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's like, hey, what does this do? So,
Yep. What does this look like on your screen?
yeah, it's crazy that, and you need 3 people in the lobby for that to show. That's interesting how all that works. And then there was I think you were also. That was the first time I saw it was on your channel. Remember the 2-handed flail glitch?
Yeah.
Do you remember how you learned that glitch?
No, to be honest, I don't even remember how to do it.
You would get the dual vipers. You'd shoot, walk forward, and swap to your flail, and occasionally, or eventually, it would do that.
Actually
glitch.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, I guess it just like went under the radar for like in my memory.
Okay. And then the last one I have here that I noted down. So, and this is in Defy Glitches 4. I think F116 Charger found this, but it's the fake shooting weapons glitch. Do you remember that?
The one that kind of like nothing comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. Do you know any story to that?
So I know a lot of like random stuff that we ended up filming kind of just like happened by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that might be one of them.
I remember actually it was one of those things where I recently found out how to do that.
Nice. Yep, you get the mines, shoot them, spin around, and swap.
And then, yep, it's the stupidest thing, but it doesn't.
I know it doesn't make sense. A lot of these don't make sense, like we were mentioning Hoverbike Surf. Okay, So yeah, we've gone through like a lot of the questions and whatnot. Now I did mention if you could have some stories with you. Do you have any stories you'd like to tell us before we wrap up the podcast?
Uh, so I guess like one that like I remembered recently is like actually I don't even know if this was like a prank or something, but do you guys remember like the Defy Logic YouTube channel got hacked?
Oh yeah, by that was by Peterborough, yeah.
Yeah. That, I mean, that was like funny, and like because I remember like when we first like made this, and like I remember I was like making my own montage, and like even though I labeled it like Defy Logic, I was like hesitant to like put it on the actual Defy Logic channel, which like I know in the back of my head was like kind of like, but I don't know, just the idea that like we were giving out the account to like almost everyone. I swear, like a bunch of people had access to it. Like I just didn't want to like put it there.
It was honestly it was just 4. It was me, you, Ethan, and Starkiller.
I swear, didn't like the other people have it too? Like Piggy?
I don't think so.
Okay, I've got to say something on this because
go ahead.
You guys, or I don't know who specifically it was, but you guys did end up giving me the password, the login info to Defy Logic, and this is when I was part of Defy Logic, very very early on, and the devil on my shoulder was like, delete it.
Nice.
And I was like, no, I can't do that. I love this clan too much, and it was more so kind of like the whole like I'm gonna have all these glitch videos up all to myself essentially, but I was like, nope, don't do it.
Nope.
That'd be terrible.
Never mind. Yeah. So then, never mind. Apparently, everyone had our password. I don't remember.
I was honestly, it's not something I would have done. I don't think. Because I almost never even went on that account that much. Troy did most of the stuff on that account.
Yeah. Dude, man, so I still have access to that account, and it took me forever to get access back to it years ago because YouTube had changed so many of their different stuff to where you had to like verify that this is you and such like that to get back into it. The only way I was able to get into that account was because I still had access to the Gmail account, and I still had access to the original password that the YouTube channel's password was, because I was smart apparently, and I put the password in an email that I sent to myself on there.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's like because I remember the whole thing. Zedo Burrow somehow got access, and he's like, "I'm going to delete the channel," and then like,
shortly after I got it
password.
back. Yeah, he never changed the password. I eventually just because he didn't have access. The password to the email was completely different. Because even back then, you still needed, I think, the email to change password or something like that, which he didn't have access to. So
yeah, because it went to the like if you try to reset password, it sends you an email to click here to reset your password or whatnot.
Yeah,
and the email was a completely different password.
Oh yeah, but that must have been.
But the fact that he didn't do anything else, honestly, oh boy, yeah. I mean, even back then, I still had every single video backed up anyway. But still, it was one of those things. It's like, dude, it's because it's the channel.
Didn't you make another YouTube channel and start uploading stuff because you thought it was over?
I don't remember. I mean, that sounds like something I would do though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
fun time.
Yes. Yep, and there's tens of stories you could talk about with Zero Burrow, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is it? Glitch montage number 3 where it says Zero Burrow sucks.
Something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not in the credits. It's just lightly
it
opaque.
Was. Yes, I put it like at 5%. Okay, or so no opacity of it, so it's like you can't really see it, but
just make it out.
It's there.
That's wild times, but man, it was really fun to catch up with you guys and just talk about the clan history and Defy Logic because it was a big part of DL's personal history. So yeah,
definitely.
Troy and Ethan, are there anything else you want to say before wrapping up?
No, I think I'm good.
No. What do you think your next podcast will be about?
Next one, probably we're either gonna get the amigos together and get fucked up and just talk about random shit, or I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with
so you can good time.
Republic and get his story because I've always wanted to talk with Republic some.
That'll be fun too.
Yeah, but Chris, is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Nothing like too much, but I just want to say, like, this is pretty great. Like, this is the game that came out in 2005, and I know you guys have like kind of stuck on it, but for me, like, I kind of stopped playing like 2008, 2009. But the fact that it impacted us so much that 16 years later,
exactly,
you're just like, hey, you know what?
Back
like,
together.
Just come talk on this podcast for like 3 hours, and I'm like, you know what? I'm down. I'm 100% down.
Let's go.
I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
dude. Honestly, it's great to actually even just be able to speak to it again because it's been so long.
It has.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, it's like I haven't heard your voice in like probably 15 years, I'd say. Probably since 2008. I mean, it's like we've talked.
Yeah, probably.
Comments. That's pretty much it.
And that was over PS2 mic.
That's true.
PS3.
PS3 mic.
PS2 mic for me, though. Well, Chris, man, it was great catching up with you. And Troy and Ethan, thanks for stopping in and discussing.
Of course, always.
All right, we're gonna close it out. Y'all take care.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
As well.
Peace.